Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 12th, 13th. I think it's one of those two game of writers of history. Today we are kicking some neo-Nazi butts, um, and all right, let's start off real quick with Oliver. Oliver, so far this mission had been, as far as your character knew, this mission had been, go to Chicago and just retrieve this person before the Hermes do, and so you sent the two fighters of your group, Chris and Philip. But as it turns out, there's a complication. So you're being called to this safe house. You've been called there. You've been told that there's like that there's this like strange group of people, and that there's like a giant with them. And when you arrive, you see like three black cars, um, just parked in front of the house, and you can see like a group of people who are moving around the house with guns, trying to cover all of the exits, and the front door has been just torn off its hinges by what seems to be a wall of flesh that is just like blocking your view from what's inside. A block of flesh wearing Hulk-sized pants. And yeah, you're arriving to this. There's a couple of people who are staying behind, like in the driver's seats of the cars, and you're parking basically as the scene is unfolding. So what do you do in this situation?
Where am I coming from?
You're coming from the airport, so like yeah, you're like in a street that's heading towards where they are. You can see that there's like a couple of other people who are walking around the area who, when they see like a group of armed men rushing towards a house in the neighborhood, just turn around and head in the opposite direction. Um, and yeah, you're basically like driving along this street.
I meant like did I return to Hawaii and then fly back out here when they called, or
I
was I
think
still where the maze was?
I think we can say that you were still in the area where the maze was when you were called in for this, or like you were taking care of stuff. Basically, Crimson was. I forgot to tell you when I summarized what happened. Crimson was taken prisoner, so you might have been like taking care of keeping him prisoner with the Neo Hermes, and then headed here, and that's why you're like arriving a couple of hours later than they are. Okay.
Right.
So you're full. Your life points are full. Your karma points are full.
Uh, okay, perfect. Um, I suppose I'm going to park the car and walk up. Would I have had a chance to get a sword and a gun?
Yeah. Like it's
Okay,
it's still
I
the
would
year
have.
2000, so transporting like this within the state lines is like pretty easy,
Yeah.
even when you take a plane.
I would have, yeah, I would have taken a sword and gun from wherever we were. So I'll approach the one of the cars, hiding a sword behind my back, and knock on the window.
Okay. Um. All right. So I'm gonna yeah. Okay, so inside of the window, you can see that there is a uh, there's this person that is holding a talkie-walkie and that is like listening in on what's happening, and there's the driver. Whose window are you knocking? Yeah, whose window are you knocking on?
Driver's window.
Hmm? The driver's window? Okay.
Yep.
The driver who is looking like towards the house turns towards you, and he's going to like start lowering the window and show you that he has a gun and tells you, "Walk away, dude." What do you do?
How far has the window been lowered?
Low enough, like it's like halfway down.
All right. I'm gonna ask him. What's happening here?
Um. Okay. Are you trying to like cause a distraction? Or are you trying to anger him? That's going to determine which role you're making right now.
I'm trying to figure out what is happening here.
Okay.
Because I just pulled up. This safe house is apparently surrounded by people in, I'm assuming, dark clothes with guns.
Yeah.
And someone's kicked down the door.
Yeah. You've seen one of them, like you've seen a couple of them that are dressed in like skinheads outfits, but the rest are wearing suits and like they seem to be working together. Um, let's have you roll for I think tactics is the observation of the uh, uh, like of the scenery, and then you can roll empathy on the driver to like both of these will get you different information on what's happening. And since this is what you're trying to do right now. Okay, so no, you don't get an idea of like sides and what's happening tactically very well, but you do like yeah when you look at the driver, you can see that like he's stressed, he's in the middle of an operation, and he's like not happy that you're distracting him from like observing what's happening. So you're causing like he seems a bit short-tempered if he like immediately told you to walk away by showing you a gun to intimidate you. So what do you do?
Does he answer the question of what's happening here?
I think yeah, he says, uh, uh, "Didn't you hear what I said? I said get lost," and now he's like pointing the gun towards you.
All right. Well, he seems hostile.
Hmm.
I'm just going to stab him with the sword that was behind my back.
Okay. Roll for weaponry, and and you get a free prime since you're abandoning an advantageous position.
I think I'll take the one that's +2. No,
It's plus
actually, what?
What? What?
um,
I,
sorry,
I
I'll take the +50% damage.
okay. Yeah, that sounds good. Jeff, I think we could hear you for some reason.
You can hear me?
Yeah, you were talking about seeing Chris and a unicorn. Okay. Be careful because it might be recording both, because the recording software might be picking up on that as well. Okay. So Oliver, yeah, you're able to stab this person, and since you're doing an extra 50% of the damage, like you hit him in a place that seems pretty vital. Where do you hit him?
He's sitting in a car.
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know, the neck. That seems pretty vital. And if the window's only halfway down, that would be pretty much in line of not trying to stab through a window.
Okay. Yeah, so like you can see that he starts to like bleed, and the person that's at the back yells in confusion, and like in his talkie-walkie he yells, back up at the car now. And you can see that you're actually like turning a couple of people away from the fight and towards you, and he starts to like scramble out of the car. the driver is going to attempt to shoot you. So I'm gonna ask you to roll for dodge.
I said dodge. Here we go. That's unfortunate.
Ooh, I rolled pretty high. Yes, you're hit for 4 damage by a bullet to the shoulder.
Alright, swords do 8 damage.
Hmm?
Swords do 8 damage, don't they? Not 4.
Oh,
No, swords do
okay.
4, guns do 2. Yeah.
Yes. Wait, no. Guns do 4 damage as well. Swords do 4 damage
Alright.
to people who aren't fused with their Archon and Diva. So to
Right,
you,
yeah.
because you have a normal amount of, you have the human normal, you have the human level of life points. You have that's like 1/3 of your life points.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so after that, we're simply going to move back inside. Inside, the situation is like pretty chaotic. You all had you were all like doing different things. I think Philip was observing the situation. Chris, you were going up against like this giant, and Lucius, you were preparing. What's it called? You were preparing traps. So we're going to re-roll initiative for everyone, and we're going to see who acts first and things like this. By the way, Lucius, I didn't finish your image, but like I started on it.
I saw, yeah. It's pretty cool so far.
Thank you. All right. So everybody roll for reflexes and divide your score by 2, and then put it in the initiative thing.
So to
What
write
time of
something in difficulty, when I do that, do I like write divided 2 or something?
No, you just don't write anything out. Don't write anything, and then you'll just divide it by 2. Chris, you rolled. Oh my God, Chris and Lucius are like the fastest men alive. Okay, so good news. Chris, you're going to act twice this turn. Basically, you act the first time at 12, and then you're going to act again at 1. And your initiative is going to be 1 for the rest of the combat. But because you went over the maximum initiative, you act twice.
I don't have a thing in the turn order.
Oh, you don't? Why isn't? Okay, yeah, you're right.
I'm so fast, I missed it.
what time
yeah.
of day
Mine's
is it
at
right
0.
now? What time of day is it?
It's going to be noon pretty soon.
Oh, that's too bad.
Do we round up or down, or how do we do this?
You do not round. You do you write a 0.5 when you have something that is uneven. But you have something that's. Do you take the darkness dice or the light dice, Lucius?
I almost always take the light dice unless there's. I still don't know what doing the darkness does. So
Gotcha.
I think I'll stick with the light.
Oh yeah, it gets you to like you get less experience points at the end of each scenario, and those experience points have to go into developing your powers. They can't go into any of the skills that you like to do.
Yeah, he's a skill guy. He likes the light stuff.
Yeah, gotcha. Theo, do you take the lights or darkness dice?
I think I'll take the darkness.
Okay, so you have an initiative that would put
9.5.
Yeah, 9.5, and it gives you a debt. Oliver, can you also roll, since you're technically also in this combat, just in a different part of it?
It's reflexes, right?
Yes.
I'll take 14. So
the enemies are quite probably going to be acting last. Oh,
for him.
oh, okay. Well, that is a
Oh
shame.
shit!
But this does represent the fact that this person is like the embodiment of Taurus. He has an initiative of 0.5. So he acts even behind Chris's second turn.
Kick his ass, Chris.
Yeah, all right. So Chris, you act first at 12, and then you're going to act again afterwards. So you're the first here. You remember the last time you'd been like pushed out of the way
Yes.
by this giant who's like he's just making his way onwards. Now here's the thing, just one thing real quick before you start. There's in this game you get extra penalties for each to your defense for each extra defense that you have to do this turn. So against someone who has this like fighting style that's higher than you, maybe something that you could do is try to make it like distract him for Theo to be able to land a hit if you're the first in the initiative order. Or since you're acting twice this turn, you could do a bunch of attacks and then later down the turn do another bunch of attacks. But basically, every new attack gives the person a -3 to their defense, but every attack that you launch gives you a -3 to all of the attacks that you do after the first. So I'll let you piece together what you're going to do. So what do you do basically?
Okay, so he's like not fully inside the house yet. Is that correct?
No, I think he is like he had like pushed you, like slammed you against the wall to move in, and like he's in the corridor and he's making his way to the kitchen where the gas is on and the oil is being thrown on the floor and stuff like that.
Okay, so I would like to do a jump kick into his face, but I'm not actually trying to hurt him because I don't think I'm able to really hurt him. So I'm just doing it to spring off of his face and flip backwards towards the kitchen, which is where I'm going to be leading him, since that's where the trap thing is. So.
All right.
Would you rather an athletics check than a brawl, or?
I think I'd rather have both, like one after the other. Okay.
All right.
So yeah, go ahead and do a brawl check, and then, but since you're doing both, you're doing both at -3.
Okay.
So
then -3 to that. So 23 on that.
All right, 24.
What is your skill in this? 140?
18.
Wow.
Yeah, like the new players have like put a lot of points in skills, whereas the old players have a lot of points in powers. So there's a bit of mismatch in what your capacities.
I'd like to correct you on that. I just have a lot of unspent experience.
Oh yeah, there's also that. All right, so yeah, he's able to attack and defend with strength when he's not defending against like ranged attacks. So basically, like, yeah, he takes your hits just like the previous time, but like it doesn't seem to like phase him. But he's gonna have a -3 to defend to the next against the next ones. And roll for athletics. You just need to roll to get a 12. That's more than enough to you make you slide like into the kitchen after bouncing off of him. Philip, it's your turn. No, it's Lucius's turn next. Lucius, you've been trying to evade this guy for a while, and he seems to keep coming after you. And now those new people you've met are in danger because they're near you. But you're also in danger. So what are you going to do to get out of this mess?
Well, I've already put like all the cooking oil all over the floor in the kitchen. I have the burners on. I knocked the sink open so that the water's spurting everywhere because water in a grease fire is terrible. And I'm setting this whole thing up. I set it up for a booby trap. I think, Philip, didn't you come over to like be by me in the last one, so we were kind of on the opposite side of the kitchen, away from where Chris is. Is that where you were?
I'm trying to remember. I think
I think you were both together in the kitchen in a defensive place, like in a place where you were like backed up. As far as I remember, at least.
Yeah, I think I went out to go do the confrontation while you set up the trap in the kitchen.
Right. Yeah. So I think Philip had come behind. I think I'd beckoned him, pardon me, over, and I'd taken Philip over, and then he had come behind me, and I was getting ready to try to set up some sort of trap because if I remember, Philip, you can teleport people. Is that correct?
yes, as long as they're within eyesight of me.
Okay. I'm going to. Well, Lucius is saying, "Can you get him out of there? Can you get him over here?" Like that kind of thing. And then he's going to throw something over to try to also distract this behemoth while he's prepping his light, basically his flash magic, so he can get something to just quickly ignite everything in the kitchen while we're not there. So
Okay.
basically,
So-
if there's anything more, any oil, anything that he can throw onto the floor, then he's going to knock that over. And if there happens to be a hot coffee pot, I don't know if there is or not, but it would be very stylish for him to grab it and get ready to throw it in his yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not sure if there is, but if there is, he's probably going to want it.
Yeah. All right. So usually in this game, if you're looking for improvised weapon around you, you roll for tactics, and the success means that you find something. So I'll let you roll for tactics, and it like and because that's one of the easy that is a free move. So afterwards you can roll for firearms to just throw it at the giant if you want.
Okay.
Okay.
I have like virtually nothing in tactics and virtually nothing in firearms because I thought that I could do this through subterfuge and all that other stuff. So I'm not very good at those. I have like literally 0 in tactics.
All right.
So
So did I.
should I just
Well, I
roll?
failed.
But you got a 12 and awesome.
Yeah, thanks. So I need a 12 to see if there's an actual hot coffee pot going there.
Yeah, like it's more of a 12 to like very quickly find something to throw. Since we haven't established it in the fiction beforehand that it would be hot coffee, then there needs to be a roll to find to find it.
I'll
Or
give it a shot.
Okay, yeah.
I'll give it a shot. Why not? 1 in 12.
All right. Yeah, that's a
6. Okay,
yeah,
no.
that's a fail.
Okay, so no hot coffee. Okay, so there's no like crazy black cat with claws.
No, like
No bird, no angry bird in a cage. He's like, he's looking around quick, like, damn. Not even a mouse with a firecracker in its middle.
like you don't find anything that's like that fits your needs exactly. But if you if you want, you can either roll for crafts to finish making the trap, or roll for subterfuge to try to distract the giant. Both of these options are things that you could do that also are similar to what you were describing. Throwing something at him could be more subterfuge if you're not trying to hit him, but instead trying to distract him.
Well, if I get the craft set up and this is a good enough trap, then will that give him a minus to trying to get through it?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to try to finish this crafts thing. And then the next time, hopefully, with what he has in magic, there's some way that he can light it from subterfuge. Because I actually have a large list of things and tricks that I've listed on his character sheet that he would try to carry around for just this sort of, street magic stuff. So
Yeah.
Okay, so I got a 13 in crafts.
Okay. So yeah, you finished making the trap, and I think it's more going to be about you don't have anything magical that can set a fire, but you probably do
I have
Hmm?
I have a box of matches in my character sheet.
Yeah, exactly. Like there's probably something like in the kitchen that can like that can like get a fire started. So maybe you're like spraying oil to the outside of the kitchen, lighting it there, or something similar. But you're ready to unleash the trap. Do you want to maybe just unleash it at the end of the turn when the giant gets in there and try to get everyone out in like
I
or in the next turn?
I would love to unleash it as soon as this giant guy is in there, but not if Chris is on the other side, because I don't want to trap him between a burning kitchen and Nazis with machine guns.
Okay.
So I'm hoping with his athleticism and all that other stuff that he can kind of come through, get through this. And although the kitchen is extremely slippery right now, hopefully he's good enough he can make it through, and then we can like get everybody on one side and blow it up in their face. That's kind of my tactic.
I think with the 28 that he rolled, Chris like has like jumped off of the giant and slid to where you are, like on the oil. Like like he made it to where he needs to be like safe. And if there needs to be another movement out of the kitchen, he can do it again in his turn.
I really want to nuke it right when that big guy is there.
Okay. All right. Then like we can say that the crafts rule that you did like applies to launch the trap at the end of this turn when he moves in. If you're like if by the end nobody is like still in the kitchen confronting him. Okay. Next on the initiative is Philip. Philip, what do you do?
Okay, so do we want to go ahead and get Chris over here with us? Is he within eyesight of me?
No, I think Chris has like as I mentioned with his 28 in athleticism, he's next to you guys. He's in like the
okay.
part of yeah.
I misunderstood that. Okay, cool. I don't know. Let's see. And just in front of us is that big behemoth.
Yeah.
I could take out my gun and fire a shot before running out of here.
Oh yeah.
I think I'll do that. Just try and get some damage in.
The kitchen still smells like.
Oh, duh. Fuck me. I'm like, what can I do?
You know what's
weapon.
funny?
Yeah, I'm still like stuck on like bows and arrows, so I forget that there's like explosive shit.
Theo, you know what the worst part is? I think you had exactly the same idea
I
at the
did.
end of the last game.
I absolutely did. Jesus Christ.
Hey, stress can get to anybody. There's,
I just want to hurt this guy so bad.
It's like deja vu all over again.
I already scalded him with coffee, hit him with a car, and he's back. I want to see what he can take just for fun.
Yeah. Theo, how there you know that like there's the back door to the kitchen that leads to the backyard, and then you've seen people like coming around and surrounding the house. So if you want to shoot, you can shoot at these guys. You can,
I'll do that.
Like it's not even a movement just to get out of the house and shoot at them. So I'll let you shoot for firearms. Do you have any? How many times do you want to shoot?
I'll do 2 shots.
Okay. And did you have a machine gun from the previous adventure, or just a regular gun?
I think there was debate about whether or not I still had a machine gun, but nonetheless, I would most likely still have my pistol on me.
Okay. All right, then go ahead and roll firearms.
All right. Do I roll both at disadvantage?
If you attack twice, you roll 2 rolls at -3.
Okay.
You never intended suicide. You thought of it, but you never did anything to attempt it.
What? Philip failed on firearms?
Well, with a -3, it can be like difficult. Okay, Philip is providing cover fire. Is what we're going to say.
A quilty blanket falls from the sky, covered by it.
Yeah. Okay, so next on the initiative is Oliver. Oliver, you can hear gunshots coming from the other side of the house. You can see that there's like two guys coming towards you with guns, and the person who seems to be in charge of this operation leaving the car that you're attacking. What do you do?
Are there any shadows around? Like shadows that I can stand in and aren't going to move?
You like it's still during the day. It's close to noon. So if you're looking for a place to hide, like there's the cars around you, that are empty, that don't belong to the attacking group, and there's your own car that you could retreat to. But this, but then like the middle of the street is pretty well lit by sunlight. What do you do?
All right. I'll retreat to the side of my car that has a shadow on it, and then I'm going to cast a verse.
Okay. Right. So, are you trying? If you're trying to hide away from enemies, you're rolling at stealth.
Nope. I'm casting a verse.
Okay. So your movement wasn't like an. Okay. Oh.
Like I literally just need a shadow that I can stand in.
Oh, okay, yeah, I understand. All right. Okay, so go ahead and say what your say the words of your verse and tell us what it does. Is it a verse of Semiramis?
Yes. Is that how you pronounce that?
Semiramis. At least
Semiramis.
that's the pronunciation in French.
All right.
At the very least.
Where wast thou, Semiramis, when we assassinated thy husband, Nihilus, king of Syria? Where was I? Behind his back, poor fool. And at the poor fool, I fade into the shadows and become invisible.
All right.
Vigilance and clairvoyance checks automatically fail against me, and if I move, I get a +3 to stealth. And that lasts while I'm in a shadow.
Okay. So yeah, like you cast this verse as those two guys are like running towards you, and once they get there, like they look around and they can't find you at all. Like you're invisible. So I think that's a darkness verse. So you can spend 1 point of darkness karma, and then it's going to be Chris's turn. Chris, it's your turn again. Like Philip has left the kitchen. You can see that Lucius is at the edge of the kitchen, about to set off his trap. You're still like more or less in a more or less safe place from the trap. It might still like burn you a little bit where you are. So what do you do?
So what I would like to do is, assuming that this big guy is going to burst through the kitchen door in a moment, I would like to, when he does that, I would like to try and use my verse on him, my darkness verse of Musashi, and then I would like to use acrobatics to basically shoot backwards, time it with his throwing of his flash thing, and use my acrobatics to basically vault backwards, hitting both of us and taking us out the back other door of the kitchen and out of the range of the explosion. So this way he can fully focus on his attack, and then I will try to use my athleticism to hit him to get us both out of there.
All right, but you also want to. You're not trying to shoot a gun. You're trying to shoot both of you out. Is
Yes.
that it?
Yeah, I'm just trying to shoot my body back because I know it's slippery, so I want to be like have somebody next to me that I can push off of, use the oil and my athleticism, but to time it so that the guy stumbles in, I do my verse on him, which is going to paralyze him in terror, and then shoot after he throws, shoot my way back. So hopefully we get out of there and he takes the full brunt of the trap.
All right. So because you're activating a verse in the same turn, you have -3 to your roll of athleticism, and because you're trying to push someone else, you have another -3. So you're rolling athleticism at -6. But if you succeed, neither of you take any damage.
Can I take a one of those moves so I make myself to give myself a bonus to the move with say a penalty to my defense?
Yeah, I was
Okay.
thinking exactly this because you're going to be in a precarious situation. Like you're going to be in the line of fire of the guys who are outside when you activate this.
Okay.
So you're going to take a -3 to your dodge when you for the next attack, and in exchange you can get a +3 to your athleticism, which means you're only rolling at -3.
Okay, good.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
Okay, so I spend my 2 points or my 1 point from my dark karma.
No, it's since your specialty is auras, you spend 2 points to activate verses.
Oh, that's awful.
I think I mentioned this in our chats.
Yeah, I think I do remember that because I can have multiple auras and eventually have multiple ones up at the same time. So
Yeah, like
Sure.
you like for you casting auras is just one point, whereas for everybody else it's 2 points.
gotcha. Okay, so I spend my 2 points, and as soon as he takes it, you want me to do the verse now, or I gotta wait till he comes in so I can?
I like he's coming. Like we say that you like halt your initiative until he comes in and you
Gotcha.
act then. So yeah, go ahead and then.
Okay. Raising his eyes from the feast of raw poultry, Takezo scrutinized fiercely those who sought to capture him. 'Twas a gaze of beasts disturbed in their feeding. And he catches my gaze, transfixed in terror for 5 seconds, cannot act, react, or perceive anything.
Like he can't
Unless,
even defend from the trap.
right, unless directly endangered. So he
Yeah.
will at that point, but hopefully this is enough to give us that chance. And then I do my athleticism to
Yes,
at
absolutely.
-3.
Ooh, it's higher than 10. Oh,
Good.
double 13. Perfect. So yeah, like you push yourself and Lucius out just as Lucius is like lighting his match, and the whole room erupts into flames behind you. With the giant paralyzed in the middle. I'm going to give him a -3 to his dodge because of your verse, and he takes the full brunt of the fiery explosion. And like there's going to be a bunch of smoke coming up. On top of this, one of the men from the outside was lopping in a smoke grenade right around the same time inside, which is only going to add to this entire thing. But towards the back, each of you, Chris, Lucius, and Philip, are going to be the target of one attack from one of the gunners. So everybody roll for dodge. Against my firearms. Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. So two of you don't even need to roll because two of you are going up against failed rolls, but one of you is going up against 2 12s and a 6. And Philip, you're the first one to have rolled to dodge, so you're the one who's taking the hit. Um, you take 7 damage from the machine guns.
That really hurts.
Yeah, both of the other ones, like the shooters, are not as experienced as they look. They fire around you, but it seems that the like recoil is like throwing their aim off completely. From the inside of the house, you hear this wailing in anger, and you see this like the giants like crashing through the wall. He's on fire. Everything about him is burning, and he falls to his knees in front of in the middle of this confusion. Like you can see him trying to stop the fire on his face, which seems to be like burning his face off. And new initiative. Lucius, you're the first to act. Again, what do you do?
So how many people are outside?
Outside, there's currently 3 shooters and the giants. At least at the back of the house where you're all at.
Actually, do I go on 13?
No. That was only for the first turn that you do this. From here on out, you only act at 1 because you had.
Okay.
Otherwise, people with high initiative could act like 2 or 3 times per turn every time, which would be a bit too strong.
Gotcha. So I only get the advantage is really only the first initial round of the.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
And if you don't get this, at least you act high enough in the initiative turn that you're able to have like more control. Your auras and your breaths will affect everyone who's after you. It's also possible to take the acceleration prime to go. If you go above 12 in initiative by taking the acceleration prime, you get to act twice that turn again. For example, if right now Lucius took acceleration, his initiative would boost to 13.5, which would bring him back to 1.5, and he would act again that same turn at 1.5. So he'd be able to act twice.
So I could take that now, and then what do I have to give up for it?
You need to take a penalty in exchange for a prime. And like basically anyone who's at the edge between 12 and 1 can either like lose a turn if they lose initiative, or gain or act twice in a turn if they like gain initiative. So you need to take one of the penalties that are here, like difficulty on your roll, which would give you a minus roll to your difficulty. I give you a plus 13, a plus 3 to like a minus 3 to your next dodge or attempt to block an attack. Do only 50% of the damage if you're attacking someone, things like this.
Okay, so if I wanted to hit him with, say, a bottle of whiskey that could burn, or perhaps the diethyl ether that he has in his pocket, how hard would that be for him to do? Since this guy is on his knees screaming, I'm wondering if he ran up to him and splashed it on him.
Yeah, basically he wouldn't, like currently the giants wouldn't be able to defend, but because he's like still moving around, flailing around, and there's like all of the dangers of like going up to him with the shooters, you would still need to pass the basic difficulty of 12 with either a weaponry roll or a firearms roll, depending on if you were doing this from afar or if you moved up to the giants to do that.
He's not really that good at either of them, so that would probably be a wasted effort.
But here's the thing: if you don't need to succeed at your roll to get your prime in exchange, you could still attempt it with the acceleration prime and still get the bonus to your initiative to act a second time this turn at initiative 1.5.
Oh, I see. So I could do a minus 3 on my roll, but still get the bonus, but then still have another action.
Yep. And if you attack someone who can defend this turn, that person would have a penalty to defend against any other attack this turn. So even if you aren't likely to succeed at an attack, it can still be beneficial for you to take a prime that gives you an advantage, and it could also benefit your allies. Like sometimes there's little things like this in the combat system that still allow like someone who's not good at combat to like do stuff.
Okay. Still with the 2 in firearms, and that's the best of all of my fighting abilities. I don't really see a very strong chance of this working even with a bonus. So, I think what I'm going to do though is there a close gunner or somebody like that that looks like they're a little closer to us that I could maybe throw off his game, or actually I could blind somebody. That would be a good one.
Oh yeah, you've got a verse that can help. That could like decrease someone's eyesight a lot.
Yeah. So whoever's close, and actually, is Philip okay right now?
Philip just took a hail of machine gun fire to the chest, but he seems okay because basically like it's only done enough damage to scratch him. In terms of game terms, he's only bruised right now.
Okay.
All right,
Well,
new plan. Everyone is getting the best body armor we can find after this.
Wait, no. If you start putting armor on the NPCs, I start putting armor on. If you start putting armor on the PCs, I'm putting armor on the NPCs.
You already put armor on the NPCs.
Yeah,
Boy,
I
a
don't.
whole room full of guys with body armor twice.
No. Like I don't count their armor. I don't count body armor when it comes to applying the damage. Those people, they're wearing suits. They don't have any armor. The previous guys you were fighting against, they were wearing monk tunics, leather monk tunics. They weren't getting any.
The helicopter and where we got captured.
Oh yeah, no. These guys were. These guys. That's right. I have nothing to say about that.
So therefore, we get body armor, right? Because you gave them to your NPCs.
All right. let's finish Lucius's turn real quick.
okay. Lucius looks over at one of the people with a machine gun, and says, "O hermat sedentes an tribinis an noctum noctibus usedag hoc pravi veligol trasientemum," and blinds him.
Okay. So yeah, the shooter immediately becomes extremely confused as not only he's wearing sunglasses, but his eyesight dropped to that of a dark night. So like he just goes blind in that moment, and like he yells in panic. That only takes one action for you, and but it also takes 1 life point. So you have to check one of your life points from your lifeline off.
Love to. Now, can I? Is it possible that after he does this, he can throw his voice next to the person and say like, "I'm over here" or something like that in his voice, and try to get him to shoot at somebody else?
Yeah. That would be a roll for subterfuge.
Okay.
Subterfuge against my character's willpower. And if I succeed...
Do I have a...
21's pretty good.
Yeah, he's going to shoot at one of his comrades at his turn.
Do I have a rival for lying about stuff now?
Yes, you do. You're gonna want to start spending your experience points, I think. Philip, it's your turn. What do you do? If you still have your conversation, okay. Right now, there's standing. There's the 3 gunners. One of which is blinded and confused, and on his knees is the giant. You can. Okay. By the way, like there, some of them, like they're rather close because they were moving into towards the back, so they're within sword range if you want to use your sword instead. Okay. How many attacks do you want to do? Okay. Go ahead and roll, and you're at -3 for each attack. Okay. And yeah, weaponry for both attacks.
Dang.
Okay.
Nice.
All right. So, wow, those are some good rolls, and I am rolling very poorly. Okay. So you slash at one of the closest gunners, and oh, you have the aura, the Ares aura, right? So you're doing.
Yeah, I do 1 extra point of damage.
Okay. You slash someone until he's unconscious, basically. Like you take out one of the gunners. He like that guy was not expecting someone with a sword to charge at him. He yells in terror
Right, a sword to a gunfight.
Yeah, exactly. And he's cut down. Like I think it was probably the person who shot you in the previous turn.
Nice.
That was not expecting you to just still be alive at this point.
Right, act like I just got scratched.
Yes. Oliver, you're still invisible, you're still confusing two of the gunners at in the front of the house, and you still have the leader of this operation like within your eyesight, who's like also confused as to your disappearance.
Is he still being distracted by it and not focusing on the fight?
Yeah, he like you can see he's listening into to what's happening through his talkie-walkie, but he's not giving out any orders. He's like currently he seems more focused on his safety first.
Well, I mean, this seems to be working well.
Okay.
I'll just keep doing it
All right.
until I see everyone.
Yeah, you can remain visible as long as you want as long as you're not moving too much with this verse, so you should be good.
Yeah,
Chris.
as long as I'm in the shadow.
All right. Chris, it's your turn. What do you do?
Okay, so the big guy came out the door that we went out of, and he's like on fire and he's on his knees.
Yes.
Is there carpeting or hardwood floor here in this room?
You're now on the outside. Like you've moved to the garden that was that's out back of the house. So there's so he's on grass right now.
Okay. Does he appear to be sufficiently covered in the oil from the room that I might be able to slide him back into it?
He has a little bit of oil like on his legs, but right now he's on his knees, so like pushing him back would be difficult. You'd be using your strength against his, and he's demonstrated of like a lot of it.
Yes, but it doesn't. No matter how much strength you have, if you have no traction, it doesn't matter. That's what I'm saying. Was there that much oil, or does it seem like it's probably like irrelevant on the grass here?
It's going to be irrelevant on the grass because like he's on his knees. He only has a little bit of oil on his like legs, which are on his feet that are on fire, and that's a bit, like yeah. You don't think you'd be able to push him back, unless if you rolled like more strength than he did, basically.
Yeah, we know how that works. That's a deficit I'm not going to approach. So yeah. I will. Although, do you have a bottle of something in your hands there, Lucius? Was he talking about having some sort of bottle?
Diethyl ether, and I've got whiskey. Either one is flammable. Diethyl ether is known for blowing chemistry labs up very quickly, which is why he has it.
Right, but I mean, Are those obvious that he has them? I didn't know if you were pulling them out to use them, or were going to use them. Did you change your mind, or?
Well, he was thinking about hitting him with the diethyl ether, but instead, I don't know if he would have it in his hand or not. Actually, just because he's not very good at throwing them himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Throwing it would probably be a weaponry, another weaponry, firearm.
Firearms. Yes,
Yeah.
but grabbing the bottle and smashing it over his head would be weaponry. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter if I don't. I don't imagine I would know he has it in his bag because it's never come up. I was just wondering if he had it in his hand, and then I would grab it away from him. Presuming
I think like it's possible to act this more as a cinematic where Lucius could offer someone to take the bottle from him and do that. If you're okay with that, Lucius.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Sure. So I will
So-
spin around and look like I'm getting ready to grab it if he hands it to me.
Yeah, I'm like, huh? Yeah, I'm gonna toss it right to you. No problem. If you're there, take it.
All right.
Okay.
I'll try to grab it by the by the neck and just turn around and smash it right over his head.
Mhm.
The big guy, not
All right.
Lucius.
Roll for weaponry, and he's not getting a defense because like he's not aware of his surroundings right now. His eyes are melting. All right. So yeah, you smash the bottle, which immediately catches fire. You're going to take like you would normally take 3 points of damage just from from it getting from some getting on your hand, but I think you have the Taurus aura on you right now, which lowers this to just 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And like yeah, you see him like screaming in pain, and in his turn he's going to do something weird. You can see that out of his all of you can see this. Like his aura of Taurus becomes visible to the naked eye, just extends outwards until you're all in this sort of green field, and then it's morphs into something that you've never seen before. It's I need to find it to find the description of it, but first try on the right page. The ad. Okay, so the description of this power is the human grows and becomes very imposing. Okay, so the giant is going to grow taller than he already was, and like there's a sort of a wave around him, and you can see all of the plants in the garden start to grow at an extreme rate. So like it's going to be even more potent around him. So there's like a bunch of like new flowers sprouting around his feet. But everything in the area grows, and everybody who has lost life points regains all the entirety of your life points immediately. Everybody who's caught in the power, which means Oliver, it does not affect your side of the battle, but everybody else completely regenerates, and that completely snuffs out the fire that was on him, and you can see his face regrowing back into shape, and he falls unconscious on the floor after having done that.
Now's the time. Beat on him. Beat on him.
No kidding. I hand the other bottle of. Yeah, I seriously do. Like I'm holding the other bottle out right now. Like here, you want to try this one too? I've got a lighter.
But before this, I've got to shoot all of you.
No
so they are going to. Let's see. They're going to. Okay, they're going to be doing light damage in exchange for a bonus. So all three of you who are at the back. No, wait, only two. So I think the most dangerous people are going to be Philip and Chris. Both of you are being targeted by the last two shooters. So both of you can roll for dodge.
Who's? Am I rolling? Is Lucius rolling?
No, Lucius is not seen as enough of a threat to have to roll, and okay. So Theo, you fail at dodging, but the person fails at attacking you too. So because of the recoil again, so nobody gets damaged by the shooters this turn.
Yay.
They're not coming home until 7.
New initiative.
So the guy,
Lucius.
the guy who did the most damage to the big guy is viewed as not being a threat. That's
You did the most damage because of the trap, which they
Yeah.
didn't see.
okay. Yeah. No, I'm just saying it's funny. They don't view him as a threat. He's actually the biggest threat here.
There's also the idea that they're coming here to like capture this dude.
Right.
So like them not shooting at him directly makes some sense.
Oh, sure.
So one is blind, one is unconscious. How about the others?
Oh yeah, the one who's I forgot to. Yeah, the other ones are being distracted by what Oliver is doing to the front, basically. Like since Oliver attacked them in the middle of their operation from the back.
Okay, so is there anybody back here that I can see that's a threat?
Yeah, there's still one of them who was neither killed by Philip nor blinded by you.
I'm gonna blind him too.
Okay, so that is going to spend another one of your life points, and also you can do one other action. You're just doing it at minus, at a small penalty.
I just offer my other flask of diethyl ether.
Okay.
Basically, I just offer like, do you want this? And I have matches. I say.
All right.
So yeah, I'm gonna blind the other one. So now we've got a bunch of blind people and an unconscious person back here, basically.
Okay. Yeah. So you use the same verse on another one of the fighter, and it looks like you have a small reprieve. But there are more shooters involved in this than the ones you have than the ones you have blinded or defeated so far. How long does your blinding power work for?
Until darkness. It lasts until darkness.
I think the description should probably mean until dusk.
Let me see.
I'll let you check.
This is under murky night sky, darkened vision. What I have here, it says there was something before. I don't know what happened to it, but it says I think it was until dusk.
It's usually dusk or dawn for stuff like that.
Yeah, it depends on how potent the spell is. For sometimes it's only going to be for a couple of turns. So after your turn is Philip. What do you do, Philip? As far as you can tell, the last two fighters have had a verse cast on them each, but because Lucius was speaking in Latin both times that he activated them, you don't know exactly what the verse does. You just know that they seem to be like having trouble aiming at anybody.
Okay. Well, I'll take advantage of that and take a shot at one of them.
Okay. Do you want to do 2 attacks again and just?
I'll try one shot at each. Or one swipe at each. I got my sword out.
Okay. Go ahead and make your roll.
Okay, my weaponry is pretty tight.
Yep.
Oh.
I'm at -3 because of the fact that I'm like having trouble seeing. So yeah, you hurt each of them for 5 points of damage, and like one of them falls to the floor yelling, "No, stop! I surrender! I surrender!" And the other one is like, "You bring shame to our race!" And like he keeps like trying to he starts like shooting everywhere, but just above all of your heads. Oliver, it's your turn. You can see that the leader is now hearing about like how much trouble they're having at the front, and he's ordering the other 4 of his men to of his armed men to go there. So
That
Would you-
includes the two that are next to me.
yeah, that includes those two. So what do you do?
Right. Well, I'm going to do 2 slashes. Are the ones in front of me? Is one of them the one I stabbed?
No, the driver doesn't count as he's not part of the combatants that are being ordered
Ah,
around.
okay.
But he was on the look. Like he's not as talented with guns as the other characters are.
Yeah, I'll hit the two in front of me with the sword I'm carrying.
Okay. So do 2 weaponry checks at -3, but they don't get a dodge because they were not expecting you to be present where you're at. So like just appearing out of nowhere.
All right. I
You
am
can
going to take. I suppose I can't take underwhelm as a penalty for them.
um,
A
underwhelm.
+3 enemy reaction.
Yeah. You. You could do that, and it would give them bonuses to defend themselves next turn.
Okay, then yeah, I'll take efficiency and underwhelm.
Both times.
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay. So you're rolling at no penalty.
Yep.
Okay.
All right. First attack hits, and second attack on the other one
Also hits.
also hits.
Okay. Yeah. You like appearing out of nowhere. You're going to like slash across. Both the ones who are next to you. Next is Chris. What do you do, Chris?
So this big guy, we have we saw him. He's a Nazi, yes.
He's with the others, but like he hasn't like you know that they're all part of the same group, and some of them are like um, obviously have like like more like I mentioned that one of them had a swastika tattoo on his tongue. You're going to see a couple of the others wearing like similar tattoos over parts of the body that you see. He himself doesn't have any signs particularly, but he's with the rest. So yes.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out I want to kill him, but I don't want to kill him because I want to kill him. I want to eliminate his having this ability that has from Taurus
Yeah.
because he doesn't deserve it. So I don't know how to get rid of that without killing him.
There you could try to capture him and obtain some information and like just try to understand where he could have gotten this power from. I gave a couple of hints last game, but like that could be something that you could do if you're able to like capture him, which might require the use of one of Philip's verses, which could definitely help here.
Ew.
Well, that's an interesting idea. I think if we capture him, we should drench him in gasoline and drench him in a whole bunch of other things, and including my firecrackers and a easily ignitable fuse plus a remote detonator, and tie him up really, really, really carefully so that if he moves, it automatically goes off.
That's
Then we can interrogate him. That would be kind of an interesting thing. And then I can have my chloroform in front of him too, just in case. No, that would be interesting because we could actually put chloroform on him, so it's hard for him to wake up.
first. It might be like a bit difficult to move such a mass to a vehicle and get away with the current fight, but it might still be possible as well. So it's up to you guys.
I think we can move him.
Car and teleport him into the car, like or get into the back of a van and just like teleport him there.
You could do this.
Okay, we need to
Uh,
unless you just want to kill him, and I'm happy with that too.
Yeah. So first, I want to look. Oh, are there any more people up here?
Yes, there's still two people. They have eyesight trouble at the moment, but and one of them is surrendering. And both of them have been wounded by Philip, but they're still technically combatants. They still have their weapons in hands, for example.
Okay, I think they've got them taken care of. This guy, I saw that the aura somehow having a weird emanation from his biceps. So
from his muscles, and you also notice that he had scars on his like surgical scars all over where his muscles have are bulging.
yeah, that sounds like we're going into the area of medicine or medicine, and that's not my thing either.
I have a little bit in it, but that's about it.
I think Oliver has.
We don't
at the
even
very
know
least
Oliver's
pointed
here.
fencing. Yeah.
So
I think
might
you guys might
a
have
little bit. I have a little bit of medicine, like a pinch of medicine.
I've got a pinch of medicine too.
Tylenol. We all have Tylenol.
Yeah.
So Chris, what are you going to do?
I am just. I mean, I don't want to kill somebody, but at the same time, I just don't want this guy.
Yeah, with the
Want this guy
having
able to do anything. So, I guess I'm going to. I want to check him. Does he? I mean, given my experience with having knocked out people in the past, do I know? Can I tell if he appears to be like way out, or is he just sort of like if I slapped him, he'd wake up?
You can roll for medicine for this.
Well, I don't really
and
have medicine,
Yeah.
but I do have the maximum possible ability to brawl, and as I've knocked people out in the past, I probably have some.
Yeah, but this is but he fell unconscious because of mystical effects rather than so I'm good. I could allow you to
There you
make a
go.
medicine check with +3 because of your combat experience, but there's still a lot of like.
All right,
Okay.
I get a 21.
Yeah, you're balanced. So he, it looks like because he's not wounded anymore, it looks like he might wake up if he was, like, for example, attacked.
So he's probably out like just a regular sleeping kind of out.
Yeah. And there's and it also bears mentioning that he completely healed one of the guys that Theo had dispatched earlier. And I forgot to mention this. Also, wait, he healed everyone since after Theo's attack, or was this? No, Philip's attack was at the beginning of this turn. So the two who are the two who got attacked are still damaged. So never mind that. But like,
So
yeah, the other one.
So I just turn to them and say, he's just sleeping. So he's going to wake up if we try anything. So we got to make sure we know what we want to do.
Pull out chloroform. This can probably keep him down.
Your character just carries chloroform everywhere?
He also has PCP and acid.
Okay.
Like LSD and stuff. He has all these hallucinogens. He has knockout drugs. He has roofies. Yeah, he does. You're on his. You can open up his sheet and look.
Oh my God! No! Don't make rape jokes like this, please.
No, that's not it. But he does like to have an out when he frisks somebody and he decides to take their painting out of their house. It's better that they don't remember that he was there.
Yeah. No. I was talking to Jeff because.
Oh, he's got all that fire stuff on there.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, let's just move on. So you guys, yes, your characters are. So yeah. Do you do any other actions this turn, Chris?
No, I just stand there ready in case he does stir. But
Okay. All right. So on my initiative, uh, let's see. They are what? Yeah, they're all going to take danger. And okay, so one of them is going to try to shoot the one who wakes up. Oh, the one who wakes up had technically he doesn't. Yeah, all right. He's going to shoot Chris. Can you roll for dodge? It's the person who was just healed by. Oh, never mind. His attack doesn't make it. But on the other side, there's the two that Oliver just attacked, plus the other two who are attacking him, and they're going to take the prime efficacy in exchange for the penalty danger. Can you roll for dodge 4 times, and every time that you roll for it, you get a -3 for the next one, please?
So I start off with nothing, right? And then
Yeah. And the second roll is at -3.
all right, this is gonna go well.
Okay.
Yep. Oh no, those are even lower. I was
Okay.
accidentally rolling reflexes.
Oh yeah. Okay, so gotcha. I missed with the first person who attacked you, but you are you're machine gunned into unconsciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah. You just took. We're gonna say that you start healing after getting hit with the first, so that's taking 14 points of damage doesn't kill you. You just take 10, and you spend 1 point of darkness karma. Okay.
10 would kill me too.
Oh wait. Oh, you've already taken a hit previously.
10 would have killed me even if I hadn't taken that hit.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. The only 7 would have been able to just like to put you into unconsciousness. So I think that's they shoot you and you hear the and like the last thing you see before you fall into unconsciousness is the leader saying what? They knocked him out? Ah, scheiße. And like he turns to you and says, we'll retreat. We're taking this one with us. And they're going to start retreating with the people they have available. New initiative. Lucius. You can see that the people that are conscious but blinded, they start to try to head off to head away from the fight, but because of their vision being impaired, they knock into a lot of things, and there's one of them who's starting to retreat as well. What do you do?
I'm going to chloroform the big guy. I mean, Lucius doesn't know there's anyone else over there on the other side. He's heard some machine gun fire, but he doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So since he doesn't know that there's a friend over there, I think he would go and he would chloroform the big guy just to kind of keep him down and give us some time to figure out what's going on.
What would that rule be? He's already unconscious. I'm not gonna make you roll for this. Actually, like yeah, you just you put him under somewhere. Philip, it's your turn. What do you do?
Okie doke. Who am I closest to that's an enemy?
you're closest to the like one of the enemies who can see is the farthest away because he's the one who's like ran away the most. There's two of them who've been blinded by Lucius who are just stumbling around and like knocking themselves against trees or
And one surrendered, right?
oh yeah, one of them is surrendering, but like he yeah, one of them is. Would he still try to flee? I think he. Yeah, I think he wouldn't. He's like just surrendering right now.
Okay.
So like there's one fleeing efficiently, one fleeing not very well, and one who surrendered.
The one that seems to be fleeing efficiently, I'll try and aim for his. I'll take out my gun and try and aim for his kneecaps.
Okay. So that can be that could be the prime heavy damage in exchange for a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Which penalty would you take?
Let me pull it up again. Here we go. I could do.
Because they're retreating, if you take something like underwhelm, which makes you no wait not underwhelm but danger, which makes it harder for you to dodge. If you're not going to be hit again during this combat, then
that might be the best one to go for.
It might be
I think I'll do that then.
Okay.
So I'll add 3 to my danger, but I get to add 3 to my firearms roll.
Oh, yeah, you can get efficacy instead of just hurting him a lot if you'd rather do that.
Okay.
You can take a +3.
Okay. Oh, damn.
Do you take the darkness die?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
That was just upsetting.
You shoot him for.
He was slowly following Oliver into the dark side.
No, Few is slowly heading towards balance between light and dark. So you take another debt, and it was someone who was already that you had already hit in the previous turn. So he falls unconscious with this hit.
Hey.
Okay. Oliver, it's your turn. What do you do? My question is, your Archon and your Diva, your Archon could technically heal you. Your Archon could try to spend some karma to get you out of unconsciousness. Okay. But that might not be the wisest decision. Your Archon here makes the choice whether to bring you back to consciousness and to get, or to let you get captured to see what the enemy holds from the inside.
What was my Archon's character again?
Trait. What legion does your Archon belong to?
Aramon?
Aramon. So, the Aramons, manipulators. The Aramons or the Sly are the Archons who have the vilest and most twisted soul. They bathe in their cruelty, often simply by fooling people or by a weakness of their own character. They participated in the destruction of Eden, just letting themselves get embroiled in all of this by the other Archons. So basically, like they were just along for the ride, but they still, but the ones who participated in the destruction of Eden were just, still participating. Yours didn't vote because you're not part of the 72 who reincarnate.
Seems like something, or getting me captured seems like something my Archon would do.
Yeah, your Archon would be like, what's the worst that could happen?
Exactly.
Okay, so it is now Chris's turn. I think if you don't take any other combat action right now, this this combat could be over with you guys having 3 or 4 prisoners.
Yeah,
Two
I
of
think
them.
that sounds good by me.
Do you want to take the
Fine.
last one who's blinded prisoner as well?
Yeah, I think that's easy enough. Let's.
Okay.
I have zip ties.
All right. Okay.
So I think we can use those to zip tie everybody, but then the big guy, I really want to keep sedated, so probably we're going to throw some knockout pills down his throat as well.
All right. Theo,
Yes.
there is a voice in your head that you recognize as the Astromancers. Alice and Melfi arrives and tells you the shots you just heard. It was on the other side of the house. It's Oliver. He got captured.
Oh, shit. I
What?
just look up at the others and I say, Oliver's here, we gotta go get him.
Where is he?
I point to the other side of the house and say, should we split up? He's apparently captured and I just start running.
I run.
All right. You make it in time to see the cars that are starting to move away. You can pick up their license plates or shoot at them or do something else if you have it.
I'm going to blind a driver.
You need to be able to see him to be able to cast this verse, and like because of the way the lines of sight work and the fact that the like what do they call that they're they have tinted windows, so you're like so you won't be able to cast a verse into the car.
Like, even through the front window?
Like, as I said, it's tinted and it's like moving away. And the car is moving away, so...
So if I were in front of the car, would there be any way I could do that?
Yes, if you were inside one of the cars. The problem is that...
In front of the car.
Hmm?
If I were in front of the car, could I see them?
Yes. Technically, yes.
Okay, I will teleport in front of the car. The car's far enough away that I will have time to turn around. I know it's going to hurt me, but I'll turn around and then I'll blind the front driver.
Okay. So that is going to spend you 2 turns and 2 life points to do this.
I'll do it.
All right. So technically, you're not blinding them. You're just making it like much harder to see. But like it's whatever. Okay, so that was Lucius's turn. Philip, it's your turn next. What do you do?
Okay, I'm running over to go. Oh wait, no, I'm already there. Duh. I don't know how much of a commotion we want to make. I'm gonna try and shoot one of the tires.
Okay. Your aim is going to be at -3 because of how difficult that's because like the precise aim. But yeah, you can roll for firearms.
Yeah. Nope.
Okay. Yeah. You missed the tire.
Yeah.
Oliver, it's your turn. No, I'm kidding. Chris, it's your turn.
I'm running after the cars. I want to see if I can, at least the tail car. I want to try and catch a hold of the tail car if I can.
All right, that's going to be an athleticism check against a drive check for my driver, and because of the difference in basic speeds, you're rolling at -6. But if you roll higher than my character's drive, then you're able to make it. It's an athleticism check.
Okay, so but the direction that they're going, are they literally driving in a straight line, or does the drive that we took to get to this house like go and turn somewhere?
If you want, you can try to guess where they're going and use strategy to give yourself a bonus if you're heading off like to this to the side. Like a strategy roll would determine that the terrain makes them like turn around the neighborhood before they're able to like leave. If you succeeded the strategy roll, but otherwise they would be heading out in a straight line, basically.
With the penalties, I still have a higher base roll than my strategy roll.
Okay.
Because I can't even get a 12 unless I roll 12.
All right. Go ahead and roll drive, and you're trying to roll higher than 13 on your athleticism.
With -6?
Yes. Nope. That was close, but the car outruns you.
As soon as they make a turn, I will compensate and run at a 90-degree angle to them to try and get caught up to the tail car.
Gotcha. All right. Okay, so new turn. This turn, Lucius, you. Oh wait. I guess Lucius. So technically, you're not limited. You're not technically limited to cast to the number of verses you can cast each turn. Since you're not spending karma, you're spending life points. So technically, you can activate more powers per turn, but it hurts you more. So Lucius, you we can say that you blinded one of the drivers in the first and teleported in the first turn. I'm going to have to check out this driver's ability when he is blinded. See if he he's still able to maneuver his car correctly enough. So like he's able to keep going. You see, there's a confusion in the car, but he's getting like the other person to guide him because of his eyesight, and he keeps driving. What do you do, Lucius?
Can I hit them with a bunch of firecrackers in front of them to try to distract them and see if I can get them to crash?
Okay. Let's. I'm not sure if Okay. A firecracker would be a subterfuge check at -3 for your circumstances, and if you roll higher than his drive, you're able to like at least make him like damage his car, like swerve and yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think they're going to expect a bunch of explosions right in front of them, especially with murky vision. So he has a minus to his driving too, right?
Yeah, I've already like taken the -3 into consideration.
So do I just roll? Do I just roll regular?
You roll subterfuge at -3.
So difficulty? Do I put a -3 in that box?
Yes.
Okay, -3. Submit. 19.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Yeah. So you roll higher than him. So yeah, you're able to like.
Firecrackers like right on the windshield, just.
Yeah, I forgot to do their turn. My bad. There's still 4 shooters. Okay. I think. I'm sorry, I forgot to do their turn. I think 2 of them are going to be shooting at you, and 2 of them are going to be shooting at Philip and Chris. So Philip and Chris, you can both roll for dodge. And Lucius, can you roll for dodge twice, please?
I would love to.
Ooh.
Right. They're going to take danger. They are also going to take danger. And
The second one, definitely. The first one.
All right. So, first attempt is a 16 against Chris. Chris, you're able to like get out of the way before the hail of bullets hits you. The second one, which should have hit Philip, miss. The third one, which should have hit Lucius, you dodge out of the way right on time, and nobody gets hit this turn. Everybody is able to dodge those guys' attacks. So perfect. Lucius, you get one of their cars to like crash to the side of the sidewalk. And Philip, it's your turn next. you like you guys are facing off against one of the you guys are facing off against like 7 armed people armed with machine guns and and someone who's synchronized with Taurus, and you're on the winning side right now. So,
Hell yeah.
On my turn,
Um,
it's possible for me to blind someone else too if I'm not limited by power use. Can I blind a second person?
Yeah. Yeah. You can. Okay. It's just normally you need to declare how many actions you're going to do before you start rolling, because you'd be rolling at a -3 for every action, every extra action that you're doing. So, for example, that could have led you to fail your first roll. So like for the next turns, please tell me before you start rolling dice how many actions.
I just didn't realize my turn was going to pass that quickly.
Yeah.
This might already. I have to.
Okay, one second. 1 second. There's a lot of banging
Yeah.
noises in the background. Who is this coming from?
Sorry, that's on my end. It should be good now.
Okay.
Somebody was trying to put away a pan.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that I'm helpless.
This is going on YouTube. Okay,
Right.
right.
All right.
I thought I was the only one who was supposed to have deadpan humor.
God damn it.
I'm still alive, so technically I have pan humor because I'm pansexual.
God damn it, Simon.
It turned into
The
a
puns are too much. This is pandemonium.
Yeah, it's a pandemonium pandemic.
Oh my god, this is even more puns than our game with Gwen last Sunday.
We'll have to see how it all pans out.
God
All
damn
right,
it.
okay. It's now we're moving on to Philip's turn.
Yeah.
Philip, what do you do?
Make sure your action isn't a flash in the pan.
Can I... How far away am I from the car? You said it crashed, right? Or did I make that up in my head?
Yeah. So there's 3 cars, but the front one has crashed, blocking the other 2.
Okay. And how far away are they? Could I, like, run up to them and try and, like, open any of the doors?
If you wanted to run up to them in one turn, you would need to roll athleticism, the same roll that Chris did, and the difficulty would be a -6, and you would need to roll higher than 13. So you can like try to get halfway there by rolling athleticism, but that's going to take one of your actions. Like, how many actions do you want to do first of all?
I'll just do one action, and I'll try and at least get halfway there.
Okay. All right. So like they're shooting at you, and they're like running towards them. Like those people are getting charged by someone who's wielding a sword, and that's terrifying. Yeah.
Not even blinking.
Roll athleticism at -6.
-6. Let me
Yeah.
do that. Sorry, I goofed out.
It's fine. You technically.
Yeah, I could have just subtracted 6 from that. I'm a fool.
Yeah, but yeah, with your light roll this time, you basically like run faster than Chris, and you catch out to one of the cars with that roll.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's your only action this turn. Oliver, I'm sorry. Maybe Oliver, does your Archon realize because of the crash and the sudden stop? Your Archon is still like you're unconscious, but your Archon still has like basic perceptions around your body. If you're unconscious and you have your eyes open, your Archon is able to see through your unmoving eyes. At the very least, you're able to. He's able to feel the car like halting. With your sense of touch. So what do you? Would he like try to get you out of unconsciousness?
He's going to wait one more turn just to make sure that we're actually stopped and not just at a stop light or something.
Okay.
Or stop sign.
All right. Yeah. Okay.
I do have another question. Why didn't someone just jump in the in one of the cars there and just drive instead of running?
Fair.
Let me tell you why. It's because the only person who's put points in the drive skill is the new player.
Oh,
And he just teleported in front of them, which is a bit
Yeah.
simpler.
a little bit.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, don't panic. We've got your back.
Yeah, like you guys are doing pretty well. Actually, yeah. So Chris, it's your turn. What do you do?
So we don't actually know which car he's in, right?
You do not.
Okay, so I'm gonna keep chasing after one of these cars. Like I said, when the moment one of them makes that turn, I'm gonna cut it 90 degrees across or 45 degrees to try and catch them.
Yeah, like right now they stopped, so you just need to spend one action to catch up to them this turn, and another action to do some like they because thanks to Julius's efforts they are stopped now. So you can spend one action and do something else once you've reached them.
Okay,
What
I'll
do you
do
want
that.
to do?
I'm going to run up to one of them, and I'm going to kick in the back window when I get there.
Okay. I should mention the people who shot at you are like to the side. Like they've opened the passenger windows and they're like hailing machine gun fire at you from the back car. So if you want, you can attack them directly, or you can punch through the window.
Yes,
Which one do you?
I will do that. I will go up to the first one and try to disarm him.
Okay. So you're going to roll two brawl checks, one to like grab the gun and the other to yank it away. But since you already had to move this turn, you're rolling at -6 both times
Okay.
against their very shitty dodge. Oh, they actually have penalties to dodge because they were taking danger as a penalty to shoot better earlier. So right now they are awful at.
Okay, so
yeah.
there's my first one.
Okay. My second one is a 6. And my first one is a 1. So, not doing too good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you yank one of the weapons away, and like you have it in your hand, or you can toss it. It's whatever. You've disarmed one of them. Okay, it's their turn now. So there's only 3 of them left. 2 of them are going to attempt to shoot at Lucius again. Lucius, you're still like twirling around and dodging like with like inhuman speed. The person that you blinded, did you try to blind one of the shooters or one of the
Driver.
Okay, yeah. So you've got 2 drivers blind now. Okay. So you're going to roll to dodge twice, and Chris, you're the other one being attacked right now.
Why do these people hate me?
Because you're in the front. And okay.
The first one, dodge. 35 will do it.
Okay, so Chris, you evade the first attack. Lucius, you evade the second attack. Okay, you guys are like okay. So all of your group can see at the front where Lucius is. He's starting to move, and he's moving and dodging at like inhuman speeds. You're realizing how much the Capricorn influences him by the fact that like he's even Chris, with your years and years of training, you haven't seen someone display such speeds when it comes to evading danger as Lucius.
Okay.
Nobody gets hurt this turn. You guys are okay. I gotta put up enemies that are stronger than this, but you guys are doing really good.
After Correra.
Oliver would appreciate if you did not put up stronger enemies.
Yeah, there's really no need for that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
this is
happy.
luck. We're just lucky.
More peaceful, live and let live. I don't even have a firearm skill.
Okay. Lucius, it's your turn. What do you do?
Are there any drivers still?
There's a okay. So one of the people who's shooting you was in the front car and was helping the driver in the front car like maneuver. Right now, the driver is still attempting to like drive away with this, and I should have been rolling for this guy. Um, let's see. Oh, yeah. They're at least the front car is like it manages to like back from its crash and keep going. The second one you blinded, the second car that you blinded is, let's see. No, the second car that you the second driver that you blinded is unable to move like to keep going with the chase. Basically, like only one of the cars is still going.
So is it 2 cars total?
No, there's 3 cars.
Okay, so there's one still non-blinded and one is.
Yes, all the one that's all the way at the back, and there's also like one of the shooters that is giving the like directions to the front car driver.
Okay, I'm gonna just blind that shooter, and then can I blind the other driver?
Yes, you can do that. Both of these in the same turn. If you spend 2 life points, how many life points are you at right now? Spent?
Right now, going down, I've spent 4, so I'll be down 6.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So you are. We're gonna say that's good for your turn. Philip, it's your turn. What do you do?
I think I'll take an action to run up closer to the people to get the other half, and then use another action to try and swipe at somebody.
Okay. As I mentioned in the previous turn, you had enough in athleticism that you caught up to them. So,
Okay.
Right now, you're next to one of the shooters that hasn't been disarmed by Chris. If you want to attack this person.
Okay, for some reason in my head I thought I only got halfway. Okay, I'm definitely gonna attack with my sword and just do a little swipey swipe.
Okay. How many times?
Just one.
Okay. Okay, I'm dodging at -3 because I took risk.
Oof.
All right. Yeah, I'm giving you a choice. Do you want to slash one of his arms off, or do you want to destroy his weapon?
Let's destroy his weapon.
Okay. Yeah. Like you slash across his towards him. He tries to block with the machine gun, and like the thing just like you hit somewhere, and one of the sparks caused by your sword just like makes the machine gun like explode to bits. Okay. New initiative, Oliver. Your car has started again. You're in the front car that's getting away.
Yeah, my Archon is just going to assume that was a stoplight or something.
Yeah, you're hearing like a lot of machine gun fire all around you.
Okay, maybe not. Maybe that's a sign that this is probably not a stoplight. Or if it is, it's a good time to start beating up people in a car.
Okay. So you can spend 1 point of darkness karma to. Okay, so I think like you took 4. You took a total of 7. So you still had 1 life point, if I'm correct.
Yes.
Okay, so you can heal 4 and return to consciousness with 1 point of darkness karma. Once you do that, what do you do? Okay, short description. You open your eyes to find the leader of the, like, sitting next to you, the person who's like the leader of this group is like cowering under his seat, yelling at the driver and the shooter in the front to just like hurry, hurry, we have to get away. And yeah, both of the people at the front seem to have a lot of difficulty seeing what's happening. The driver like tries to grab the stick shift a couple of times and misses, and the shooter is like just shooting backwards at one of your friends. What do you do?
I'm going to open my eyes and say, "For I never go astray on the path where there is no return." Because I really should have done that before I initiated all of this.
Yeah, you really should have. If you fall unconscious, you heal 4 points.
Yeah.
4 points. Okay. So healing and casting this verse, that's 2 actions. You can still do 1 more action, but you'll be at -6.
I am going to try to. You know that handle that moves the seat back and like the seat forward and back, the back of the seat forward and back?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to grab that and then push it forward.
For the so like to incapacitate the driver, right?
Yeah, just like squish him against the wheel so he can't work as well.
Okay. Okay. I think it feels like you're rolling for strength because you're pushing as hard as you can to outmaneuver him, or
I was really hoping for stealth. I do it very quietly, and it's a complete surprise.
you did just utter a phrase to heal yourself with the verse, so you're not exactly being stealthy right now.
I suppose that's a good point.
And I don't see it being rolled with subterfuge right now. Let's see. No, but because he's surprised, I'm giving you a +6 to your strength check. But you still have to roll for strength. And I'm
which
gonna have
one's
to
strength under Taurus.
Taurus. Yeah, I'm gonna have to be gone for just a minute. I'll be right back, guys.
Okie doke.
All right. Well, that was unsuccessful.
We miss you already. Come back, Simon. Can't do the adventure without you. Where are you? Simon! We're doing okay so far.
Yeah, we're
I
surviving.
mean,
Who'd have
the
thought?
only reason Oliver is alive is because Simon doesn't want to kill him yet. But
Yeah,
Kind
well,
of merciful GM.
well, I think that was one of those kind of plot devices where you're not supposed to die there. Like, sometimes even when I used to DM, it's kind of like, oops, I put somebody in way above a situation or something like that. Kind of like, go, okay, well, that's not good for the story, or that's not where the story needs to be.
I mean, Oliver gets himself into those situations a lot.
So, yeah. Well, Oliver, maybe we ought to just let you go. He's a troublemaker, this guy. I don't even know him yet, but already trying to save his life.
Right.
Oliver's what? He died in the first scenario. He's almost died another 2 times.
Do you normally does Oliver just normally take out his sword and stab whoever's near? Is that like his way of solving problems?
No, it's really not. But he did just have to kill his mentor, who is an exceptionally dangerous individual.
Wow.
And that went very badly multiple times. And yeah, the first one was just because Oliver was trapped in a room with a giant zombie / thing that doesn't have a chest. Instead, it has a huge mouth monster.
Good
Yeah.
times.
Well, what I can say is, I mean, It's pretty gutsy to take out a sword and just stab somebody in the through the window. It really is.
Yeah, I thought swords did more. I forgot it was just more to trinities, not more to everyone. So,
What is it? I
Simon needs us to restart the call.
oh, all right.
All right. What do we do? We all cut off now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cut off and then somebody call back once we're all off.
See you on the other side.
Hello.
Hello.
There we go. Our favorite GM.
Absolutely, because he always gives us so much experience. Oh. And bonuses to everything.
Am I arriving at a good time?
His presence is all the experience I need.
I'm thinking of making you banana bread and sending it over.
Oh, thanks.
Vegan banana bread.
All right. Let's see. Okay, so you didn't take into account the +6, but with your strength, you're able to
I did take into account the +6. That means I have 0 because I had a -6.
Oh yeah, you were doing 2 other actions this turn. Yeah. Okay. So you you fail to incapacitate the driver this turn. Thanks for reminding me of the other of the -2s.
It's my pleasure to fail badly in a car speeding away.
You're welcome. Can you? Okay, so the doctor is going to the guy who's next to you, the leader of the group. He takes out a needle. You can see that he has this case with 5 different needles in there, and he tries to stab you with one of them and inject you with the liquid. So I'm going to do that in my turn once I'm with all of the shooters, but you're going to have to roll to dodge. Next up on the initiative is Chris. What do you do, Chris?
Well, if there's a car trying to get away, that's probably the car that's got Oliver. So I'm chasing that car.
Okay. Roll plus athleticism against my driving again, and you're still at -6. But my driver is also at a penalty because of blindness. Actually, he's going to be at a -6 as well because both of them are yeah.
Both the people in the front are blind right now.
So that's going to be
but it's worth it.
Yeah. So basically, when both fail, basically you don't catch up to the car, but you don't. But it doesn't really get away any farther either.
All right. So I'm still chasing it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like that you can outrun a car on foot.
Well, not when it gets up to speed, but.
Yeah, but basically right now it had I'm giving Chris a -6 penalty to represent the difficulty of that, but there's still it's a difficult maneuver, it's but
And how long is a combat round?
5 seconds.
Okay, so because they went from, you said that they were stopped.
Yeah.
Right, and then they backed up.
Mm-hmm.
And then they went into drive.
Yeah.
So in 5 seconds.
I didn't succeed my drive check. I'm not getting away very well, but you didn't succeed your athleticism check. So what that could represent is not just you running, but is also the idea that there's obstacles in the way. There's the 2 other cars with the shooters there. So, for example, one of the things you could have done is you could have taken the danger penalty, making it harder for you to dodge in exchange for a +3 to your roll. That could have given you a greater advantage. But we're assuming that with the base roll, you're still able to defend yourself correctly if they attack you during the same turn. So that's what's this difficulty represents.
Gotcha. Yep.
All right. Yeah. So since you did this at no penalty, that's going to be it for your turn. It's their turn. First to have to dodge is Oliver. Oliver, you're dodging or using brawl or I don't think you have a weapon, so either dodging or brawl at -3 for either check because you're in a confined space while the doctor is trying to plunge a needle in your arm.
I will try dodging, because that means it's only a -1. Oh, good.
Take the darkness.
It doesn't matter.
Uh,
So.
Yeah, he is not good at aiming. Like your brief combat experience with the jackal allows you to like survive being hit by the needle. It gets like planted into cushion next to you.
That's the
Important
There's
question. Does he let go of the needle when he
No.
plunges in the cushion? Okay.
I think there's still 3 shooters. One who was just hit by Philip, and the other 2 from the 2 front cars, and one of them is blinded. So, the one who's blinded is going to try to aim at Lucius again, with a penalty this time. Lucius, roll for dodge, please.
All right, I would love to
Ooh.
do very well on this.
Yeah. Okay, you dodge your way out, and there's another 2. So Chris, one of them is going to shoot at you, and the other one is going to shoot at Philip. Okay, so each of you roll once. 3 and 3. That's going to be an 18.
Wow.
The defender wins, so they still don't. Oh my god! I just realized something. They're Nazis who can't hit anything. They're stormtroopers.
Yeah, no kidding. They trained in the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god. Oh.
Okay.
Are we like time traveling already?
No, not right now.
That really seems like we're fighting stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
One of those races through the forest, like they jump on one of those floating, whatever they're called, like those floating motorcycle style things. Yeah,
Swoops.
yeah, and they're just like, oh well.
Lucius, it's your turn. What do you do?
Okay, dodging these bullets that ricochet around his feet and stuff like that. He goes, "How rude!" And then, how far away are the cars? Is there any actual like crashed car, or like is there?
Okay, so currently there's like 2 cars that are next to you. That are the 2 cars at the back, and because one you blinded one, like the driver from this group, which is at the front, they're not moving. They're not continuing. But there's another car which is managing to move forward a little bit, like to the other side that's farther away from you, that has Chris running after it. So yeah, that's the position. You're next to the 2 that are blocked, right?
Okay, so are these ones actually out of commission, or are they something that they could drive? Just
They could drive, but they're driving at a penalty right now.
okay. So the one in the front is getting away, and it doesn't look like we're probably going to catch it very easily. Is that kind of?
It looks like despite the fact that you like incapacitated their eyesight a little bit, they're still able to like maneuver.
Okay, is there any type of vehicle around here I could potentially commandeer?
Yes.
Besides those?
Yes. you're going to either you're going to either have to convince someone to give them to you, or use intrusion to make one work for you,
I'll
to
use
break into one.
I'm probably better at that. I'll use intrusion.
Okay.
The fastest looking whatever I can get is what I'm going to grab. I can do cars and motorcycles, but I'd like to be able to bring somebody with me if possible.
All right.
So
there's cars around in this part of town, but you don't see any motorbikes. Okay, so you you're going to have to make an intrusion check at like this turn, just like opening the door to the car and then like hijacking it. It's an intrusion check at -6, and it's going to take all of your turn to do this. It's going to be like an entire turn action, but the next turn you can start to drive. So roll for if you succeed this check. So roll for intrusion at -6, and if you roll more than 12, you like you're in the race. Okay, you rolled a 1 and you still managed it. Technically, yeah, you rolled higher than 12. Wait, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, it didn't look like you took into account the -6 modifier.
Oh, I didn't write that in. No, I did not write that in. That's correct. So that wouldn't make it. I would have to take the darkness to do this.
Yes, to do it this turn.
How far away are these people?
They're driving away slowly, like.
Okay, I'm gonna try again next turn then.
Okay.
It's just a character trait. I mean, it's right there. I'd love to do the darkness, but he's a little bit dicey about it.
Yeah, especially since for you darkness means something different than it does for the other characters who have an Archon. All right, so Philip, it's your turn. There's still the two cars that are like next to you still have 2 shooters.
Okay.
What like 3 shooters? One of which was disarmed by Chris. One of which was wounded by you, and the third, which is in the car in front.
I'll go to the one in the front and try and let's see. Is he currently armed, or is he just like getting ready to drive?
No, he's armed. Each of the cars have drivers that aren't like counted in the initiative turn.
Okay. I'll go to the guy who's armed and try and disarm him.
Oh yeah, you did blow up the weapon of the of one of them. Yeah. Okay. This arming usually involves a like brawl.
Okay.
Do you want to try? Do you want to use weaponry to just aim at the gun itself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Like swipe at the gun.
All right. Roll weaponry at -3, and if you succeed, you'll be able to like.
Oh shit!
Wow. Okay. All right.
Succeed.
Yeah. Holy shit!
I'm not even gonna roll to dodge this. You got it.
Take the darkness.
yeah. Take the darkness dice.
It's my little whispering on the side. I see
Choose
that.
the dark side.
Okay, so the three shooters from the back cars are now disarmed. One of them is basically like one of them starts to like one of the cars, the driver who's not blinded, is backing up as fast as he can, and he's gonna like try to flee in the other direction. Oliver, it's your turn. What do you do? You might be muted.
Yes, I
Oliver?
am. Yep.
Still asleep.
Grabbing his hand and stabbing him with his own syringe. Would that be weaponry, brawl, or strength, or something else?
That the first roll to grab his hand would be brawl, and the second one would be weaponry or brawl to try to get him to stab himself. But depending on whether you take the weapon and stab him yourself, that would be weaponry, or if you try to guide his hand to stab him, that would be brawl.
All right. I'm going to try that. I'm going to take efficiency and danger
Okay.
to try the brawl.
Danger gives you
He gets
minus
him
3
plus.
to your next reaction.
Yeah.
So your next dodge will be at minus 3. Okay.
I'm really hoping there's not a next dodge. Oh yeah.
Okay. This is technically 2 actions in the same turn, so you're at minus 3 for each of them.
Oh,
But
right. So
no, it's so yeah, it's 19. That is still more than what I rolled. So you're able to, at the very least, grab his hands. He's not able to use his weapon, and you can roll again at.
Minus 3.
Yeah, and if you succeed, you get him to stab himself. He's at minus 3 because it's his second dodge of this combat turn. So yeah, you're rolling to try to beat 13.
I'll take efficiency and danger again. Can I?
Okay, yeah, technically you can accumulate dangers. So you're just at minus 6 at the next time you need to dodge.
Yeah, and this is with the weaponry. I'm trying to take it and stab him.
All right.
Take the darkness.
You don't know what he's rolled yet.
I told you that was prophetic.
Taking the 25. It
Okay.
seems like Oliver always takes the darkness.
Well, you are balanced still.
Yeah.
You haven't written any verses to be unbalanced yet. Okay, you stab the doctor with his own needle, and he swears a very long-winded German like curse before he falls into unconsciousness.
This scene is just so awesomely classic. It's so perfect. You wake up, there's a doctor trying to stab you, and it's like, you're fighting as this car's moving. It's like going back and forth, and finally you get it, turn it around, stab him. Say something, and then he's like falling over. I love it.
Chris, it's your turn. Yeah, the front car is. There's lots of commotion. It's going poorly, but it's still getting starting to get away. What do you do?
I'm still going to try and cut it off, head it off, and reach the car.
All right. I'm rolling my driving at a horrible penalty because I am blind and distracted because there's combat happening in the back seat. So yeah. So.
Wait, this front guy is blind. The guy trying to help him is blind, and there's a combat in the back seat.
It's just gonna get so much worse for this driver too.
Listen, I think because you rolled higher, but on both rolls, even though you both failed every time, I think you catch up to the car this turn. Like it just uses your turn to catch up to this, and you'll be able to act upon that next turn. Okay.
Yep.
All right. This turn, the last shooter that still has a machine gun is going to attempt to shoot you again. And no, technically I have a +2. I'm 14. So roll for dodge.
Ooh.
I'm at 15. Yeah, 15.
But who's rolling? Who are you shooting at?
Oh, you're the one who's like almost catching up to the car at the front. Okay, you take the darkness dice.
Of course.
Okay, you you still don't get hit by those people. You guys are getting like your group as a whole is pretty good at dodge now, so yeah, you don't.
I
get
imagine I'm probably weaving back. The reason I haven't been catching the cars is I'm weaving back and forth from one side to the other. So when they shoot, I'm just going out of their range and then back and forth.
All right. And I've already rolled to drive away, but I've rolled a 6 this turn, so I think that's about it for my bad guy's attempt for my bad guy's turn. All of the other ones are either disarmed or fleeing in the other direction. Okay, yeah, no, that's it for my turn. Lucius, it's your turn again. What do you do?
I'm gonna hotwire this car.
Okay.
They're all stopped, right? But is there a van or something big that I can grab that could fit Mr. Mondo in there?
You would need to roll tactics to find a van in this battlefield.
Okay, well, forget it. That's just kind of like a write-off for me, pretty much. I'll make that a miracle roll. He's just gonna try to finish hot wiring this car. Now he's in it. Is that correct?
Let's see. Intrusion last turn. You rolled a 13. Wait, no. Yeah, like no, you failed during the previous turn. So roll intrusion, but you're just at a -3 this turn.
Okay, I'm adding the -3 now. Not used to doing that. Cool. 14. Okay.
Okay, 14. So yeah, you're in the car and you're ready to drive next turn. Okay. Philip.
Yeah.
Okay, you've there's still one combatant all the way, fleeing all the way at the front. If you want to try to catch up to it, it would be an athleticism -6 check.
I'll test my luck and try it.
Okay. If you want, no, you're unable to catch it like Chris. Oliver, what do you do?
That case of syringes is still open, right?
Yes.
Do all of them look the same?
Yes.
I'm gonna take one out and just poke the driver in the back of the neck and squeeze some of that in.
Okay. He does not take. He does not dodge. He's he's strapped in to his seat. He's like concentrating on driving away. So is that? No, I think you just succeeded this check. I'll try to get him to drive and see if he crashes into anything.
I mean, I've still got another 3 syringes, so...
Let's see. Like, with all of those penalties, like, he's blind, his co-driver is blind, and he and he's like getting poked into by a syringe. So like, yeah, no, he crashes. Everybody inside of the car takes 2 damages. So I guess you're unconscious again until your reverse activates.
Yep.
And heals you back up.
4, so...
So I think there's like a small moment when the car crashes where you fall into unconsciousness and then you wake up again immediately. Thanks to the power of your verse. And like
I actually got more healed from being in a car crash.
That's beneficial. Okay, that's it for your turn. Chris, the car has crashed. You reach it. I think that's the end of combat at this point. I mean, like you're obviously going to disarm this guy, the last shooter.
Yeah. Is the driver's door open? I mean, is the driver's window open?
No, but it's in pieces. after the crash.
Okay, it's broken. All right, so I'm gonna grab the driver. Is he wearing a seatbelt?
Yes.
I'm gonna still try and yank him out of there.
A little broken up.
You can roll strength at like oh yeah, you would normally be using like basically normally you'd be using brawl to because of this, but because of the seatbelt, I'm gonna say that it's a strength check.
Okay.
So yeah, basically you just need to pass a 12 on a strength check to like
No problem.
manage to pull. Okay. So yeah, you pull him towards you, and like you manage to like get like you the like yeah you find one way or another to pull him out of the seat. He's not the shooter though. Is that like the shooter is still going to be able to attack you on his turn? That's fine by you.
I understand.
Okay.
But they're not gonna
Yeah.
drive away on their turn.
Absolutely.
Isn't
I don't
the
seem to have a
driver
problem
basically
with being
unconscious
shot
now?
at. I just have a problem with catching cars that are moving. So.
Yeah. And like at this point, the car was wrecked by the accident caused
Oh,
by.
okay. I thought it just hit something. I was expecting a backup.
Yeah. I think-
Oh,
I think with like with the role Oliver did, the car is non-functional. You can tell. If you want, you can use that what the role you just made to incapacitate the last shooter and end the fight there.
Yeah, that's what I would do then.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I was not expecting you guys to catch up to 3 moving cars and stop them, but yeah, but like one of you gets to teleport, the other two just outran the cars. So that's one way to do it.
What are you talking about? This all went exactly to Oliver's plan.
Right.
Let
Exactly
me
how it's
remind.
supposed to go.
Let me remind you that it was like another shot of machine gun coming straight for your face that we decided just didn't happen because you fell unconscious before then. Okay.
Yeah. Oliver's
Oliver.
fully aware with that.
All according to plan. Okay. All right. I was gonna say that the leader like surrenders, but he's unconscious. So. Yeah, you've got the the people in the 2 cars, in the 2 front cars just stopped in the streets and secured. And like, yeah, what do you do now?
Oliver, you made it.
Well, Lucius now having the car is going to attempt to kind of like pull up to everybody and get them in the same car that hopefully doesn't have neo-Nazis or Nazis or anything to do with Nazis in them.
Yeah, you want to drive away from like you're driving up to the others and telling them to get in.
Yeah, just for a moment, and it's like, and if he sees Oliver, he's going to say, "Did you need all those needles?"
Yes, Oliver is definitely taking all of the needles.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a joke, but I hope you got the point.
I would like to drag the unconscious leader guy
Mhm.
over there and ask Lucius, pop the trunk, please.
He does.
All right. I think there's like one of the shooters who starts to look down on like his backup like just gun, and then he looks back up to see Philip just standing there with a sword, and he just doesn't reach for his weapon. Yeah, and you captured the leader, and what do you do?
Lucius like tosses out zip ties to everybody who wants to tie somebody up.
Philip will happily take some.
If they don't know how to do that for some reason, he's happy to demonstrate.
Mhm. All right. So one of them says, "You really shouldn't be taking him with you. You don't know what you're up against, and we will stop at nothing to get him back. Just leave him here, and this can end here."
Who's he?
One of the shooters who's been left alive.
Leave him here?
Oh, they're pointing towards their leader that you're popping into the trunk.
Oh, like with their zip-tied hands?
You'll stop at nothing. I point to all the trees they've crashed into. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. Invest
You'll
in...
stop at everything.
Yeah, exactly. Oh. Oh. Okay.
All right.
That was nice.
Um,
That one blindsided me.
How many of those
Yeah.
big guys that we knocked out and left back there that we're getting ready to take two do you guys have to send after us?
he he looks like he's about to answer with a threat, but then he shuts his mouth.
How about this? First one's free. Get lost.
Yeah, he like raises his hands and like backs up.
Is this one of the people that was blind still?
Because of the sunlight, he's able to like distinguish where the shapes are and to like see to and recognize his leader and stuff. But no, wait. He's not one of the drivers, the person who's talking. So like, yeah, he's not blind. He's
Okay.
not like.
Yeah, then Lucius is going to whisper to him, I'm going to watch you, and if you don't tell anybody anything, I'll let you see again once the sun sets.
Okay, that is creepy. Intimidation is in the leadership. If you want to make a roll, because if you're role playing, I'm giving you a +3.
Kind of hoping for subterfuge here. He's a spy thing. He doesn't have leadership at all.
Yeah, I mean, like you're. That's what like intimidation attempts are for. You can succeed at being creepy, but like.
Creepy
But-
is enough.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So like you don't need to roll in this case.
I'm just kind of thinking, like, I want it to be in the back of his mind. If he says something, maybe he's going to stay blind. If not, maybe not. You
Yeah.
know, like, one of those weird things as he walks around, because he literally is just blind right now. And how would anybody know that unless they kind of did it?
Yeah. Yeah.
He's kind of like, I'd be freaked out if somebody did that. I mean, frankly, because I don't know what intimidation is, but I just kind of like, he's actually pretty blind.
Yeah. Just to like for everything to seem as dark as in a deep night, out of nowhere is a terrifying. It's probably a terrifying experience.
And I'm
Okay.
going to plant my fake calling card on him.
Okay. Afterwards, does your group start driving off?
Well, what do we do? You know, Lucius is going to be in the driver's seat because that's where he loves to be. But he's going to turn around to the rest of the group and say, hi. You know kind of who I am, but there's a really big guy back there that I chloroformed after we knocked him out, burned him, hit him with a car, did all these other things, and now he was almost fine, and now he's drugged. What do you guys want to do with him? Should we leave? Do you guys know anything about why he's following me? I mean, and by the way, you guys are way cooler than Nazis. I just want to say that. Get that off my chest here.
I have one question first. Who are you?
I'm Lucius Black.
All right.
I'm one of the people that just helped save you from these Nazis. And for some reason, I assume you were here probably trying to help me, or save me like these other people were. You seem
Yeah.
like
So Crimson, after Crimson decided he was going to run away with your god robot brain hard drive, after we knocked him down and took him out, we found, among other things, a dossier on Lucius that they had intended to attempt to get to him. So that's why we came here to try and get him contact with him before they did or somebody else did. And these guys seem to be the ones that made that first contact, which I guess they came after you and you ran, and that's when we ran into you.
Yeah. The ruby table that Crimson belongs to, we're supposed to try to make contact tomorrow, and it seems that another group and you guys are acting today.
Yeah.
So, and Lucius interjects, and yes, now that you see me, you can tell the rumors are true. I am indeed larger than life.
Oh,
I have
was that that
absolutely
big
no
guy's name?
idea who you are, Mr. Black.
Yeah, Lucius Black. Nice to meet you.
I assume Oliver by this time has found his knife and gun because they probably took it. Or
Yes.
sword. Small sword.
Mhm.
Alright, then yeah, he's getting in the car.
So, do we want to do anything with Mr. Behemoth, like Juggernaut Jr. back there, or do we just want to get out of here?
The vehicle you have right now is not fit to transport this guy.
What do you think about just like getting a Mack truck and running him over with it about 4 dozen times? Because I don't like creepy, huge, big guys following me, bursting through walls, and then surviving being blown up in a kitchen. That's just a weird thing. He even managed to hit, like, last time I drove him over with a car, it was the car that stopped.
But my concern is more, and I look to Oliver, is that he seems to have some sort of special tie to Taurus. And he's actually beyond a normal human's capability when it comes to his physical strength and such.
Well, are you a normal human? You don't seem like a normal human to me. I seem to remember you stopping me driving this car, or a different car, just a little bit earlier, and pretty much there was nothing that I could do. I don't think a normal human can really do that.
Well, I'm not a normal human, but I'm within the realm of human. But he is not. He is exceeding human. Normal human maximums.
There are some scientists who contributed to creating this guy who would be very happy to hear you saying those words.
But fortunately, they'll never hear him.
Well, yeah, I guess since one of them is near enough to hear it but unconscious, they'll never hear that.
Yeah, one of them dreams and smiles, has a wet dream. Yeah, so what do we call him? Balverine?
So maybe we should try and figure out a way to get him and take him someplace that we can study him and figure out what's going on. He seems to have surgically implanted additional muscle tissue or something in his muscles. So maybe we can look at that if we find somebody who has a higher level of medicine.
I'm sure Stefan would be interested in this conundrum.
I would love to transport him. I only have limited zip ties, and I have a feeling he could bust out of them. But I have a lot of knockout drugs and things like that that I just so happen to carry for non-creepy reasons. And we could put a lot of that in his system, perhaps, and then tie him up as much as possible, get him in the back of a van, and hope, beyond hope, that he doesn't decide to break out of it on crossing a bridge or something.
My only concern with that, though, is that with his affiliation with Taurus, he may have a superhuman endurance as well. So the effects we may not be able to accurately gauge how much we would need to give him to keep him out without causing any kind of permanent damage.
That's fine. I don't care about permanent damage, frankly.
Well, I do, unless Oliver can assure me that this is one of those paranormal humans that doesn't fall under the, what would be considered killing a human or not. I don't know.
Does anybody have any idea why he's able to follow me? And no matter what I do, he can find me right again.
everybody can roll for let's see. It's going to be astrology to have a vague idea, except for Lucius. Lucius, you can roll for intellect instead.
Oh, that's almost nothing for me. Also,
Okay.
that is perfectly in character.
I don't have a clue.
Let's see, where's my intellect? I don't think I've ever even seen it on this sheet, which shows how much I put into it.
It's Libra, and it's in the middle column towards the bottom.
And choosing still intellect is 0. Okay, so I need a 12.
Yeah.
Is there any bonus I can take?
You.
If I really think about it hard, can I get a +3 somehow to get something?
Yeah, you could take the penalty slow, which doubles the amount of time it takes you to figure it out,
I take
and
the
get a +3 in exchange.
Okay. Can I take the penalty quadruple slow?
What?
Can I take the penalty quadruple?
Philip, you're drooling again. What's wrong?
I got literally a
I
0
think a
on
little too hard to get a nosebleed.
Oh, Lucius, you're drooling. What's wrong? What are you guys
What
doing?
Lucius, you need because you wrote a plus inside of the bonus thing. You when it's a bonus, you just need to write the number, or otherwise it brings all of the everything that you rolled to 0. It's the same with the anime character sheets.
That was an original 12 then, right?
Uh,
It's a joke.
no, you rolled 2 7s, so I'll let you roll again, but.
Okay, you didn't get it.
Yeah, you do. Even by taking your time. Okay, yeah. None of you have any idea how the giant could be finding you.
He's like, I got it, guys. I actually no wait. I think I got it. It has something to do with Cocoa Puffs. I'm pretty sure.
Today's episode is sponsored by.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say it's probably not Cocoa Puffs, but I'm not entirely sure what would cause something like that.
It's definitely Cocoa Puffs.
All right.
But anyway, so should we try and transport him, or should we just let him go?
If we let him go, he is going to show up.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if it's. I mean, this is my guess. I'm wondering if it's better to have him in our presence and know that he's there than just have him show up randomly. If it were me and I were trying to do a trick on it, I would rather have as many things under my influence as possible than any type of random event on the outside. So I would, and this is going to come to, we're going to clash with this guy somehow. So I'd rather it be as much on our terms as possible. And if something goes wrong, at least we're all together to handle it.
All right. By the way, you like the time that it's taking for you to have this conversation was enough for him to roll an endurance check to fight against the chloroform, and you can see him along with the other 3 shooters that you left behind, like awake. All three of them are awake. And they are, like the 3 shooters are getting in the car that backed away from you, and he is going to start running with it, then running away.
Running away?
Yeah.
Can I blind him while he runs?
You can. That's going to take an extra life point off of you.
I can't wait for the time where you blind someone one too many times and fall unconscious.
Well, my nose is probably bleeding at this point, but like we need whatever time we have. So yeah, I'm gonna mark another off and I'll blind him too.
Okay. So you see that basically like it's going to slow him down a lot because now he's bumping things out of his way. But like it does not stop his running. It just means that he is like pushing cars out of the, like stumbling into cars and just pushing them away, and he keeps going. Yeah, and basically, like, he, uh, um, like, he's showing just how much strength and athleticism he has. Even with this impairment, he is still running just a bit faster than the car that's driving alongside him as they're going away. Do you guys let them go, or do you pursue? Or do you do anything else?
I think it's about time to go the opposite way.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll drive away. But I have a question though. If my aura, I have one on me, and at one point in time, Chris, you breathed on me or something and healed me with your aura.
Yes.
I've never done that, and I don't know what's going on, but apparently I have an aura.
And you can also breathe it. You bought the power to be able to do that.
So what happens when I breathe my aura? It's first karma action counts as quick action instead of normal action, but I do that to other people.
Yeah, everybody who is included inside of your aura, which is currently just yourself, would find themselves that their first karma spending action this turn would be a free action instead of an action. So basically, if you're the first to act in the turn of initiative, which you were during all combat, you could have made it so that so that anybody using a power around you, it wouldn't have taken them an action. It wouldn't have given them a -3. And since none of your opponents were using these kinds of powers, it would have been beneficial to the team if you'd like done this. But
I'm not really thinking, but it doesn't work for me. Is that because I don't really use karma the same way?
Technically, it would still work for another action that you were doing if it was an action of casting a power. The only problem is this: activating the breath is an action, which means that you would be relieving a -3 of doing an action but activating this power costs you. Gives you a -3 to all of your other actions. So basically, currently, the way the power works is it's like activating it just for you counteracts the bonus of activating it for you, unless if you have enough initiative to act twice in the same turn, in which case you get the benefits for both turns.
Okay, I'm going to have to sidebar with you for a little bit more of an explanation on that at some point. But can I just ask, if I activate this right now on everybody else, will it last on them for a while?
No, the breath is only active during the 5 seconds until the end of the turn.
So if I use it on them, say if I go first and I use the breath on them, all of them get a +3 basically.
All of them get a free action to cast a verse or to heal themselves, where they don't have to spend an action doing it. So if they are healing or casting a verse this turn, they don't get a -3 for whatever other actions they do.
So this is a group thing. Like I kind of give up my action, I help the entire team a lot, and I could. But does it cost me to use this?
Okay, so it costs you. It does not technically cost you 1 life point to activate your breath, but you need to reactivate your aura. But your breath consumes your aura, so you need to recast it. And casting your aura does cost you 1 life point.
So if I don't reactivate my aura, I'm not getting any bonus from just having this aura.
You yourself are not. You can get bonuses if you. But all of the other players would. Basically, the power of the aura is only useful because of the breath for you, but also because it unlocks another power later on in your power progression.
Okay, so right now having this really only holds it because if we get into a jam, I can use it to give everybody an extra action for one turn.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to breathe it on everybody really quick. And
It's you're out of combat. It doesn't really like do anything.
right, but my point is I want to get rid of it right now just in case this is what that guy is tracking.
Oh, okay. You can also deactivate the aura without needing to breathe it, if you want.
Okay, well that's fine. I'll let everybody, if they have an extra action they need to do out of combat that is completely useless.
In the next 5 seconds.
Well, yeah, you know, I'm driving, so I'm just going to drive fast away from where we're going, assuming that we have at least until nightfall now, since he's blind, to handle things, at least until dusk, and then we'll go from there.
Right.
If anybody knows anywhere we need to go, let me know. Chicago's my hometown, which is kind of where we are, so I know some areas and I have some people we can go see. But other than that, if you don't like this train, get off now, because this is the train we're on.
All right. You guys are out of safe houses in the area. You don't know any other ones than the one that you just burned. Oh yeah, you started a fire. It's burning down. Yeah, you've burned the only new Herbie's safe house in this place. Okay. And even if you knew any others, bring someone that can be tracked wouldn't be the best option.
Remember, I have Secret Services skill.
As a domain, yeah, it might be useful if you want to ask for favors from anybody. So, yeah, it's going to depend on where are your characters driving to? What are you doing now? What is your plan?
Do I know anybody that possibly could house us for a little while? Who, you know, he's one of the people I've had history with from a while, from my childhood. All that kind of stuff. It points in the right direction. Maybe there's a cabin far in the woods with definitely 2 or 3 roads of an escape route or something like that.
Okay, so you could asking someone for a favor would rely on your influence. That's under your lifelines. You have an influence of 5, so that's not great. Let me have a look at. Let me have a look at your domains and see if any of them could. Okay. Justice. You could try to use your contacts in secret services to get you under some protection for a little bit of time, but as if you were like in a light version of witness protection.
Like till tomorrow.
Yep, you
Okay.
could. Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna do right now.
All right. So you make a phone call to your contact in to your contact in the secret services, and they in exchange of an old debt of something that you did for the secret services, you are allowed to stay in a couple of days. I think yeah, your let's see, yeah, for all of your characters, what is more I think more convenient would be let's see. Do you tell them that you have an unconscious person with you that you might want to interrogate in your trunk?
I do.
Okay. In which case, you're going to have to your influence is not going to be enough unless if you indebt yourself to raise to basically you need to temporarily lose 1 point in influence in order to do this.
And
So
then I will gain it back if they ask a favor later of me.
basically, that's technically true. In game terms, you lose it. You lose that point for a couple of months.
Okay.
Can Oliver help with that by calling one of his contacts in the in one of the American intelligence services and
If you have
and basically tell them that like we've got a neo-Nazi that was shooting up a neighborhood.
all right, so you could. How much do you have in influence?
Or
Four.
even worse.
So yeah, you can't. You're less able than him to call in favors. So you're not able to help.
Okay.
I'll call in this favor for a couple months. We'll handle it.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, you have a temporary value of 4, and it's going to be for 1 month. So for 1 month, you're going to be indebted. You need to basically you need to like remember where this temporary value comes from, or write it down somewhere. And in about a month, in game time, this will get cleared off. But
I write it in my possessions right now.
Hmm?
I'm writing it at the top of my possessions. 1 month.
I wrote it in for your into your influence. Oh, you wrote it in your possession. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so you you really have to push to get this favor, but you're basically given like a building, like you're handed off like just oh, you know what? Yeah, it's like a safe house, and they're not going to be watching over it. And they're like you're given free space to interrogate the person, as long as you're not committing any murders or anything in there, or breaking the Geneva Convention, or as long as you weren't doing anything criminal beforehand, which of course you weren't.
Burning houses down,
Yeah, this has no link with your character whatsoever. So, you guys make your way there, and yeah, by the time you get the doctor like tied up and everything, he still hasn't woken up.
Jeez, this is powerful stuff.
Yikes. Check for a pulse.
Yeah, roll for medicine.
I'm not entirely sure it's not fatal, and Oliver is getting the sneaking suspicion that this was probably meant for the big guy.
Can I add a plus by taking a little extra time to this and then try my medicine?
Yep. You can take your time to make a diagnostic on him. So this doubles the amount of time because it's out of combat, but you can make a medicine check at +3. Do you take the darkness dice?
He's not going to. Okay.
No, still not.
He's dead. You killed him. His heart is going to stop. I think he probably has tuberculosis and cancer.
Philip is gonna check his pulse. God damn it.
I think he has IPS too. Like
Okay.
his bowel is irritated for sure.
So neither of you, neither of you succeeded at medicine check. So I'm only going to give you the basic information. His pulse is weak, and his pulse is very weak right now.
Oof.
That's all you get from your botch checks. So
Are we ready to interrogate him?
I don't think we can interrogate him if he's like this. Frankly, I think he needs to sleep it off.
Are we? Are we in a safe place at this point now?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. We got into a safe house until tomorrow.
All right, everybody gather around.
Okay.
Simon, are there Secret Service people here, or is it just a safe house?
This is a safe house that's technically they use, but right now because you're bringing someone who's unconscious and they're doing it this as a favor to Lucius, they've left.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so if everybody gathers around, I will use my breath of Taurus. So everybody who is wounded heals 2. And I will do it
Thank
close enough to that doctor guy as well, so he's affected by it.
Okay.
Ah.
If you want, it only costs you 1 action to just extend your aura to everyone who's in sight, and just so that they don't need to gather around for the next time. Just so you know that for that in combat.
Yeah, but I like to manipulate them to make them do like move over here,
Okay.
and they do
Yeah.
because they want the healing, you know.
Yeah,
That's
all right.
acceptable.
But yeah, it's also smart because this way, like, it allows you to demonstrate out of combat that staying next to you means you get a heal sometimes. So the doctor breathes in and starts to look around and says, well, if it isn't the healing powers of my creation, he's near. He's going to he's going to be here in a second. I'd run away if I were you.
Well, guess what, stupid Nazi? That was me.
Nonsense. You cannot.
He just takes a needle and sticks it in his shoulder with his hand on the plunger, like his thumb on the plunger.
Okay.
One of Oliver's needles? Because Oliver definitely did not give you one of those needles.
A fake needle.
Oh, okay.
It's
Oh,
just is
It's not a real needle.
he's a charlatan, prestidigitation, magician kind of guy.
mm,
So
Okay,
he's gonna take something that looks like a needle and like make it look like magic, and boom.
you could, for example, have been like you could have been using the one that's empty that got him unconscious in the first place.
I mean, I suppose he did still have it sticking out of him.
Yeah. And
He'll stick it back in there in a way that it's really tough for him to turn his eye and see.
I mean, like if you're holding it, yeah, like you have the subterfuge part down. He's like, no, wait. This dose is too strong for mere humans. Even me, I wouldn't be able to endure it. Don't do this. It will kill me.
He takes it. He says, "Really?" He takes it out and sticks it in his shoulder really strongly again. Really?
All right.
Then why did you stick my friend with it?
He says, I wasn't going to use all of the entirety of the needle, just enough to make him unconscious.
Liar.
I know what the dosages are. I made this thing.
And what were you gonna do with him once he was unconscious? Just leave him behind?
Well, it's I was just trying to get away with a prisoner so that we could so that I could just save my life. But you captured me. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, I am a very important like he has a vague German accent, but I'm not very good at accents in general, so I'm not going to attempt it too much. But he says I am an important person in my organization. They are not going to stop trying to get me, and they can track you down. So I suggest you release me now, and let us have our the person that we're looking for, and you all don't have to suffer the retaliation from my organization.
Well, I guess we're just gonna have to dispose of your body exceptionally well.
Lucius stabs him in the shoulder again with the same needle.
I think you're trying to be intimidating here, so I'd ask you to roll a leadership test to try to like to intimidate him.
I'm
But
happy.
and
I have a 0, so if I roll a 12, it'll work really well. But depending,
I'm giving you like I'd give you a +3 because your role play is pretty good, but that's about it.
thanks for the pretty good. I like that. Okay.
No.
He does, but Lucius is just enjoying the fact that he stabbed the guy in the shoulder for the 3rd time with this needle.
Okay. What are the other characters doing?
Lucius says you're such an important person. We'll put a gold star on your casket.
I didn't hear that. Did you say what did you say?
It's like, you're such an important person. We'll put a gold star on your casket.
If he's such an important person, he's not getting a casket, he's getting an incinerator.
Ooh, I like that better. We'll put a gold star on his ashes.
Wait. What do you want? And who are you people, anyways?
Excuse me, but you were after us, so you better know who we are. Otherwise, you are absolutely useless.
I know who you are. I know that you have a blood in your vein that allows you to have powers like I think he's going to let the name slip. He's going to call him like Mr. Bonk, but but I don't know who the other ones are. Although I do have my suspicions.
Mr. Bonk. Mr. Bonk? Did you actually say Mr. Bonk?
He's not going to he's not going to answer that.
Okay, Lucius bonks him on the head. Bonk. Did you say Mr. Bonk? Then he bonks him again and says, "Did you say Mr. Bonk?" Bonk. Right on the.
Hitting me.
Hey, tell me, Bonk. Did you say Mr. Bonk?
All right. Can you roll for? I think you're trying to get answers out of him, so it's going to be a contested check, a willpower check against. I think you're using.
It's probably still leadership.
It's probably still leadership. You're more intimidating than anything. You're going at it like the bad cop way. So, yeah, I guess you're still rolling leadership. If any of the other players want to like take part in the interrogation, like you can.
Please do.
Oliver is.
Do I have any plus or anything to this, or is it just a straight roll?
You would still have the +3 because of the role play, but that's like that doesn't mean you yeah.
Okay, well, we'll try. Why not? I'm not going to try to bunk you on the head, Simon. That would be the worst choice. Okay, here we go. Ooh, a 13.
No, that's me.
Oh, wait a minute.
That was my roll. You rolled an 11.
You confused me there for a second. Okay, 11. All right.
Think you
okay.
lost.
Yeah. He does not speak anymore, even if you hit him. The other characters, what do you do?
Right. Oliver's going to. Right now, he's leaning on a table, kind of in front of the doctor, and after Lucius Black doesn't do so hot in his interrogation, Oliver's just going to prop himself up and say, "Doctor, have you ever heard of someone called the Jackal?"
No, I have not.
Well, suppose you're going to learn lots before you die. This can go two ways. You can tell us what we need to know, or I can simply kill you and drink your blood. Both work for me, albeit the blood is slightly less pleasant.
He cringes his teeth and like he's going to say something along the lines of you'll like you won't get anything out of me, and then like I think he's going to insult you with an insult that like I think he's implying that he thinks um, like an insult implying that your blood isn't pure, but I don't. Yeah, I'm just like not gonna go into the details. But yeah, he's just like uh, uh, trying to resist your intimidation. So if you wanna try to intimidate him into talking, you can roll for leadership as well, and if you beat a 13, you beat him.
You mean like
You also you also get a +3 as well for your roleplay, just like Lucius.
Alright, well then I have 11, 12, 13, 14.
Okay. All right. So what are you trying to get from him?
Who his organization is, what that monstrosity was, and how they're tracking Mr. Black.
Okay. All right. So he wants to make a deal. He'll give you this information because he's now like fully afraid of you thanks to your intimidation check. He will, if you let him go after he answers your questions, he will answer them. Do you tell like do you agree to this deal even if you don't keep it later? Oliver?
Yes, I'm going to agree to it. Also, it's evening now.
Yes. By the way, noon has passed, so Lucius, you regain all of your life points.
Oh, okay. Wow.
I really need more than 2 charisma.
Okay, so
Karma.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to hope he doesn't speak German.
Hmm?
Nothing.
Okay.
What is
So
he? What does he answer the questions?
Yeah, like he's okay to answer the questions if you tell him you'll free him after he answers just those 3.
Yes, I agreed.
Okay. So he says, my organization is known as it's called in this game it's called Aninerb, which is the it translates roughly to the heritage. The giant is called Matthias Bonk. He's one of their experiments. Basically, what they do is that they create with the, superhumans by using cloning technology that they found during the war that they took off of an alchemist in Prague, and injecting the muscles that they grow this way directly into their subjects. And Matthias Bonk is their most brilliant work. He's like awakened like pure genes that allow him to heal himself and others. And what was the third question again?
How are they tracking?
And
Lucius Black?
Matthias has visions of has had visions ever since the last experiment that awoke him of of this Lucius. So we established that this Lucius must have had some Hyperborean gene, just like Matthias, although he does not look like a pure blood. I think the image you sent of your character Lucius didn't seem like he was Caucasian, but like that's just what I'm not very good at like determining ethnicity by look. So is Lucius like Caucasian or not?
Yes, he is Caucasian. He has a little bit of ambiguous mix to his background. He might be a little Native American. There might be a little Romanian in there. Probably some different Scandinavian blends, kind of Northern American. But he's kind of what you'd call a mutt breed. And I know.
I'm sure you would call it that. Like I've seen on the internet people calling it unclear heritage or stuff like this.
Yeah, well, okay, that's fine. It really depends. I'm not trying to offend anybody by what I say, but where the where I came from and what background is, that's not considered to be a bad thing to say. So if other people find it to be bad, I'm happy to. But
yeah, go ahead.
But anyway, that's kind of what he would be is pretty mixed and predominantly Caucasian, but almost a little ambiguous too.
Yeah. So yeah. Okay,
he can tan quickly, but he can also get pale white to look like.
All right. So I've answered your questions. Now, let me go.
Yep. Oliver's going to pull out one of the syringes and ask, "Now, how much of this won't kill you?"
A fourth is a safe dose, especially since you've already hit me with some of it.
A fourth it is. Oliver will inject him with a fourth of it.
Okay. Yeah, he falls unconscious again. What do your characters do now?
Oliver's going to ask, "So, what do you want to do with him?"
We should probably call his people and let them come pick him up somewhere.
You don't exactly have his people's number.
Really?
Yeah.
I look at his pocket. Does he have a cell phone?
Yeah, he does. He
All right.
does.
Let's hack it.
Is there a bonk in there?
It's password protected, but
It's 2000. I don't think there's password protected phones.
Oh yeah, you're right.
I told them, like 4-digit code or something.
There is no bonk, but there's only one phone number that's called subject 46.
Well,
there's other numbers. It's just that this one stands out to you as a potential.
Does anybody have hacking or computer skills or anything like that?
I have so many computer skills.
Yeah.
Oliver has been known to fumble his way around a computer from now and then.
Especially with that kind of computer thing you did right before I met you
Yes.
So that was pretty awesome, by the way. And so I'm thinking maybe we could take that and have Oliver hack this out to someplace else and have it seem like the call came from someplace else, like maybe one state over. So they kind of think we went close. I'm trying to use like magician style psychology, like maybe we're really close, like we're 2 towns or 3 towns over from where they were tracking, and they'll be like, yeah, we got him, activate everything. And then everybody shows up at this random weird hotel, and all the police are there, like, or whatever. But we're 2 towns or 3 towns away,
You could set up something like this with your resources and technologies, Oliver.
Yeah, Oliver has also got telecommunications, so this should be even easier.
Oh yeah, yeah. You have exactly the domains for this. So roll for technologies, and basically your roll is going to determine the limits of how hard it is going to be for them to look past your smoke and mirrors.
He's also going to try to trace where the call is, and just to be safe, he is going to do it from another location.
Well, I'm thinking,
Okay,
do we want to like maybe get just a cheap hotel room and put him in there, and then call him and tell him that's where he is, so they can come pick him up?
I mean, yeah, that is
All
also the plan.
So can you monitor the phone remotely, and then I can go there and drop him off, and you can call, or you can monitor the phone. I'll call from there, so they'll actually be tracking it to the real location. But maybe somehow you can connect to their phone through that?
Sure. Oliver is also going to take his time on this and take efficiency and slow.
Okay.
Just because, I need a plus 16.
To beat that 7, yeah, I think you do. Yeah. You rolled a 1.
27.
Oh yeah, you rolled a 20. Oh yeah, you're balanced. Okay. Yeah. So not only do you, you're going to make it look like you're coming from the hotel room where he actually is, and you're going to track them down. You have their address. It's listed in the pages as a pharmaceutical lab at the edge of town. It handles it handles like different studies and it also it handles like studies, especially studies on genes. It seems to be what the place is for. So it's like the 2000 Nazi version of 23andMe.
Oliver is going to propose another scheme to the group. He's going to say, I'm pretty sure that was successful in me masking my location, so I might be able to call the police, make it look like it's coming from this location. And if someone wants to fire a gun a couple times while I'm on the phone, I'm sure we could get the police there to search the place. That might delay them a little bit.
Why do we want to delay them?
Because I have no interest in getting shot at again.
It gives us a little extra time where everybody's waiting to see what they do, and then it just takes their resources and gives us a little more time. If anybody's tracking them or following them, then we have a little more kind of leeway. And then once they find what's going on, then it'll come out half a day or a day later. Then we're long gone.
Philip,
Uh-huh.
you're getting a call.
Oh no.
You're getting a call from the group of Neo-Hermes that you left Crimson with.
Okay. I'll pick it up.
Okay. They tell you, we're sorry, the prisoner just died of a heart attack.
Oh,
We
shit.
think that someone got into his memory palace and killed him there. He has no karma response, and tonight we should be able to see a new galaxy in the sky, because he seemed to have had both his Archon, his Diva, his work in red, and potentially also a memory palace since he was killed with the just he just had a heart attack and his karma didn't heal him.
Oh, God. All right. Thank you for letting us know. I'll tell the others.
What's wrong?
Our prisoner is not on this earth anymore.
And how did he die?
Appears like a heart attack, but they think somebody entered his memory palace and killed him through there.
He's faking it.
That could be problematic,
Yeah, extremely.
since he was taken to the Neo Hermes. And I assume he now knows, or he used to know, that all of us are, in fact, Neo Hermes.
What is the memory palace?
Why?
He hold on. So for example, first of all, he did not know where he was. Jeff made sure of this. I mean, Chris. And second of all, he knew that you were turning against him, but he never found out that you were Neo Hermes. He just knows that a group captured him.
He turned against
okay.
us.
And
Yeah.
Oliver would have known that, but Max wouldn't have, right?
Yeah, you're aware that normally he knows you guys turned against that you guys had a conflict of interest with him because he wanted to keep the hard drive with Pisces on it, with Web Melchior, and you just released her instead.
Yeah, Crimson's the one that went crazy, not us. We didn't turn on him. He turned on us and tried to take your robot's brain and declared that he was going to make himself one of the new gods and tried to run away with it. So.
All right. Okay, so if Oliver knows that, he won't raise that question.
But I don't believe it. That guy's weird. I think he did something to trick everybody so they'd let him go.
Do you want Philip to call them back and tell them to do something to the body?
Who's asking me that?
The GM.
I don't. Doesn't matter one way or the other. I'm not going to say that.
Okay.
I mean, I'm saying what I said about Crimson, but I'm not suggesting that you call and tell anybody. I'm just speaking that out loud for the group to take that for whatever they feel it might be worth.
Okay.
Because remember, I've been moved from one place to another, and then first it was going to be a Neo Hermes, and then it was going to be the Hermes, and then it was going to be a Hermes pretending I was a Neo Hermes, pretending I was a Hermes, and then it was going to be a lot of and then never dids. So, and now I'm just running around getting attacked by all kinds of supernatural crazy. So for me, I haven't really gotten that. Chris hasn't gotten that chance really to get a hold of any particular group because so many of them are flashing past his eyes. Like, these guys think this and they think that, and there's these gods, and then there's these people that want to be the new gods and get rid of the old gods. And
you're sort of lost in all of this right now.
So I'm thinking out loud, like, yeah, I don't believe it.
Yeah,
That guy did some crazy magic stuff.
Well, Lucius shows a really, really simple card trick where the card disappears in his hand and then he turns it over and then turns like a 2 of hearts into a 3 of diamonds. And he says, Chris, I'm the real God, and you've always got me.
Sleight of hand is a well-known trick that's possessed by a great many street magicians. I've seen people do that before.
Many a god.
Well,
Although I will admit that you're extremely good at it.
regardless of that, you still got me.
And I'm thankful for that.
I'd get punched in the face by you anytime.
Well,
That would probably hurt a great deal.
It
I'd not
did.
suggest it.
It actually did. Yeah. Yeah. That happened.
Did you really punch him in the face,
yes.
Chris?
Yes.
That's. I mean, I can kind of see why you would. He's very wonderful.
Why don't you ask him what was going on at the time in
I'm
actual
going to
details, not elaborating or trying to weight it based on his personal view, but in actuality, what was going on at the time that happened?
I'm going to guess he was making some very bad puns.
No, actually wasn't. He wasn't being
Shockingly.
funny at all.
Don't lie, Chris. That was exactly what was happening. You punched me in the face for puns, which is why you put the pun in punch.
I would not give you the
Yeah.
satisfaction.
I'm quitting this call if you keep punishing me like this.
Yeah. All right.
No, there was a
What's the real
dispute about
deal?
whether or
I
not we
was
should go
going-
tearing away in a car at extreme speeds after I told him to pull over in our car, and instead he chose to take off driving like a maniac. But we resolved it. We got past it. There was some misunderstandings. Understandably, a bunch of people he didn't know all seemed to be trying to come after him, and so he was on the defensive, and we didn't really have time to make a formal introduction or explanation before that giant guy tried to kill him. And then he rammed him with the car pretty fast, and the car didn't like it at all. The guy didn't seem to mind. Bonk. So
All right.
That's pretty accurate.
So, Philip, what did they do with Crimson's body?
That is a good question. Did they tell me what they were going to do with his body, or did we finish the conversation before they could even tell me that?
They didn't specify.
Yeah. I could call them back and see. Do you think they should do something specific, or are you just curious?
If he belongs to the Ruby table, it'd probably be good to get rid of the body. I'm sure a cremation would be nice.
Yeah. I can call back and clarify that that's what they're going for.
It also erases Chris's concerns
Yeah.
about him faking it.
Exactly.
I'm sure if they talk about it loud enough around him, he'll stop.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they start going through with it, he'll definitely stop.
One would hope.
When you call back, the person on the other side of the line explains that they are going to incinerate him. Like just that seems to be the easiest way to dispose of a water bottle of a body like this, and like, of course they take like they take the usual precautions, which is when somebody is fused with their Archon and their Diva, they can still they can like regenerate at dawn or at dusk. So they took the time to decapitate him to make sure that he wouldn't do that, and to make sure that he was like absolutely dead.
Okay.
They are thorough.
Indeed.
Because like the Hermes are some of the only people who know how to thoroughly take care of someone who's done their work in white, black, and red. Most of the other NPCs in this game will leave you able to regenerate yourself if you have your work, if you look dead and you have your work in red that keeps you like alive even beyond your life points. So, yeah, they are for they do know that he could just have gone to 0 life points and have spent all of his karma and still be able to regenerate from this. So that's why they like they made sure he was gone.
Good. Good.
Is there is there a problem with this? Do you need us to do something like specific? Does he have any ties with the living or something that we should be afraid of?
I just mentioned, what was it, the ruby table?
Okay. They're not going to know exactly what the ruby table does, but they're going to be careful.
Okay, that's good.
All right. So,
That's all I can ask for.
all right. So because we rolled the things, you already dropped off the scientist, and you already have the location of these guys' base. Are you going to? What are you going to do now?
Yeah, what do you think of Oliver's new plan?
What was?
Tell me Oliver's plan again?
Oliver,
Calling the police.
yeah, calls the police as if from theirs. Someone shoots off a couple gunshots. Oliver panics and says there's people shooting inside the building. Help. And then hopefully the police go there and their whole operation's discovered, and it's all good.
It's just opposite.
That could work.
So, is it generally a good idea for the police, part of the unaware portion of society, to be thrust into potentially violent confrontations with people who have abilities above and beyond what normal people have? Is there?
It's not, but you.
No, I'm saying that in character. In response to what do you think of my plan?
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
Okay, Lucius at this says, "Son of a bitch, you're getting that moral on us now. Like now we actually have to think about morals. Yeah, we don't like to endanger innocent people." And then he swears SH.
I was actually responding to a question asked by Oliver here because he actually knows a lot about this, having been in the organization for a while, whereas Philip is only somewhat more involved than I. But if I understand correctly, by like only a month or so.
No, I think Philip.
I think Philip's been there longer than Oliver.
Really?
No. Stefan has been in the organization the longest. If you don't count the fact that he has no recollection of being in the organization the longest.
Yeah, we should go with that.
And I think Oliver was second and Philip third, based on your ages. I would say that's about accurate. But Philip was, I think Philip would have been in the Hermes longer than 1 month before the game began.
I could have sworn we had a conversation, which at the very point about like it wasn't so long ago that you were the new person, and now I am now the new person. That you didn't really know a whole lot more than I did.
Yeah.
I do recall having that conversation. Now, maybe that conversation was misleading, but I do very specifically remember having a conversation in which you made allegations that you really didn't know a whole lot about what was really going on and all that.
I mean, like that's.
I mean,
yeah. Go ahead.
that is kind of true. I've been in this a while, but I've been quite literally faking it till I make it. I probably don't belong here, at least when I started, but now I have a place, so I have a duty to do. But when I first started, I shouldn't have been here.
Okay. Well, but at any rate, so yeah, generally, what is the take on that? Do we really want to get this Bonk fellow to show up at a hotel where the police are going to be and have a confrontation. I mean, he doesn't seem like the kind of person that's going to take the time to give a statement to the police. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Is that really the best way to handle it, or?
I'm hoping the secret Nazi organization doesn't want all that much public exposure. So I'm sure they'll, well, not sure, I'm hoping they'll just, the police will just delay them in their search. It would be hard for them to continue as they are if they started killing police officers, especially at a legitimate business practice.
Just seeing him is going to be a problem.
I'm also going to guess that they probably don't have the giant out in the front lobby.
I don't seem to be too rational to me, but I don't know.
I suppose that's also an excellent point.
Okay, so we don't know where this giant is going. We don't know if... Well, Oliver's plan is a really good plan, but I think that it could hurt people that maybe are innocent, and that's not something that I really like to do. Although I love trickery and everything like that, I don't like to put people who don't deserve to be tricked and don't deserve to be in the process. I just don't like to involve innocent people.
That's fair.
So I think I would give it an A+ on strategy. I would like to find a different way, personally, where we don't have to put innocent people in harm's way, because these organizations, to me, they seem like they will stop at nothing to get what they want, and we have to decide who we are as a group and what we stand for, so we know what we're fighting for. Are we actually just fighting for our own existence, or are we
yes,
something
we're
bigger than
literally fighting for our own existence?
Yes, that is absolutely true. But if that's all we're doing, then eventually we're going to die. So what are we accomplishing in that time between now and when we die? Because death is going to come for us at some point in time. How many people?
Yes, literally at the end of the year.
Well, how many people will we sacrifice right now between where we are now and when we die because we reach old age? I don't like the idea of sacrificing fathers of daughters, or mothers of sons, or anything like that in the process of keeping ourselves alive. What I do want to do is get to the bottom of who is coming after us and why. And
Simon,
Yep.
sorry, finish, and I'll ask after you're finished. All right. When is the final judgment thing? That's at like the end of this year, right?
No. It was at the beginning of this year. It was at the beginning of the year 2000 that it was supposed to happen, and it didn't happen as far as you're aware. At least it didn't happen anywhere on Earth that's the Hermes and Neo Hermes survey.
Okay.
But basically, it was supposed to happen 3 days before the campaign started.
Ah. All right, then Oliver is much less of a rush to deal with these people.
Like basically you're like everyone in this setting who knows about the final judgment knows that it's been delayed by something. They just don't. It's just that like most people don't know what delayed it.
Okay, Lucius, what were you finishing saying?
I would like to say you should go to great lengths to protect the innocent people that have nothing to do with this conflict. But if people have something to do with this conflict, I think they should be fair game completely. Now, the enemy will probably not adhere to these types of rules, so that puts us at a disadvantage because they can use people that we care about or anything else to try to get to us. But it is still still need to try to protect everybody we can at the same time. And we have to be, when we make our choices, we have to be extremely lethal to the people who need to be stopped. So when it comes to those choices, I don't think we can hesitate. Because if we hesitate, we put a lot of people in danger. Does that make sense?
Oliver's just going to shrug at that. He's had to do some things he never imagined himself doing, and it's not having a good effect on him.
Yeah.
That means I'm GMing properly when you had to do tough choices like this.
No, it doesn't. It means you've been awful because we have to make moral choices, and you're supposed to make them all for us.
Am I now?
Well, first of all,
Simon,
I love
Simon does like his complicated moral choices.
Yeah, I love it. So, I actually wrote you kudos to private, and I don't think people get to see that in public, but I actually wrote you a message
Wait.
how much I love this adventure. So,
Oh, I don't see which message you're referring to, but
yeah,
like,
how much I love it. If you go back on Skype,
yeah. Oh, yeah. On Skype, yeah. I saw that one. I saw what you were talking about. So does that mean your characters are going to attempt to storm the enemy's base next game?
Well, Simon, I have a question. So
Yes.
last week you said something about the this guy and the fact that he had these scores that took him beyond the normal human range, and that it was having a particular affinity to one of the 12 zodiacs. So was that something that you were just telling me as a player, or was that something that Chris was understanding while he was
Chris was understanding this.
Okay.
You were piecing together that not only does this person have an aura, it's an aura that seems tied to specific parts of his body in a weird way. Like his affinity for Taurus is strange, but like since it fits with all of the Taurus skills as well that he's able to like to show to extreme cases, like you see him like use extreme strength or athleticism to run and just be an endurance when he was almost untouched by the drug that was supposed to keep him asleep, you know. So like you've seen him display Taurus skills that are very strong.
But now these guys, this guy was claiming that it was about genetic experimentation and splicing, doing this and that. But the impression I got was that it was more of a like Taurus was allowing this guy to be like to have part of his power, to be like an embodiment of him. Like that was something that Taurus was allowing, not some scientist or geneticist or anything like that. But ultimately, it was coming from Taurus. But is that not correct?
So you don't know the specifics, okay? But first of all, I'd like to say most of the characters in this setting have a skewed idea of the understanding of both the secret history and stuff like this. So it could be that this guy thinks he did something and it didn't with his experiments and it didn't play into it at all, or it could be that he did something that accidentally synchronized this person with Taurus, or it could be something else. Now, it does, from what you can tell, it does seem that it could be coming from Taurus. You don't know if it is if it is something that Taurus is doing willingly. You don't know if it is something that is if it was caused by the experiments or if it came from a gene, like the guy says that it is. Currently you don't have enough information about this character, the experiments that were done upon him to piece it together. But as far as you can tell, there is something about Taurus that is involved in this situation.
Okay. So yeah, going back in character and talking to the group, this guy has some kind of attunement to Taurus, and I don't know the extent of how much of it is actually genetic manipulation by this guy or experimentation, or if it's actually, but I think that it could be actual channeling the power of Taurus, one of the 12 zodiacs. So I want to talk to the guy and find out more about him. Maybe that's not the smartest idea. I don't know, but it's kind of what I would like to do. It doesn't necessarily mean that I'm going to do it, but I mean, I think I would like to talk to him and find out, what he feels or if he has any impressions about that. So that's why my idea was we would just call and tell him that, they could find him here. And while I was on the phone with him, ask him if he would agree to meet me. I just wanted to talk to him. I wanted to talk because he has power I have a power, but his is far greater than mine, and I'm curious if he would be open to dialogue about that. But, if you really think that, getting the police involved and doing all that stuff is going to help somehow. I thought the idea was we sort of wanted to shake these guys off of Lucius's tail so that we could move on and move forward with what we're pursuing instead of just adding another possibly endless string of complications onto our already endless string of complications. So
that's a nice way to describe my campaign. Thank you.
Yeah.
Chris?
Yes. It's like we start out planning to resolve a situation, and then when we're done, we either haven't resolved it and have gotten another one or two, or we have resolved it and we've gotten another 2 or 3. So, it's... Do we really want to make these guys enemies at this point, or do we want to try and maybe find at least one other group? Maybe we could get to not want to kill all of us?
Okay, Lucius is at this point going to ask you, have you ever played chess?
Yes.
You really seem like you're good at this, he says. I think we should follow your plan to the T. And I think we should follow Oliver's plan at the same time as the backup.
I've got another thought if people are unsure about involving the police. I could instead use the Anubis. It would theoretically be even easier than calling the police.
Well, we could fake call the police. We could plant speakers outside that make them think the police is there for a moment. That won't be an issue. That will be, and nobody's in trouble that way. Secondly, first of all, Chris, that's an awesome plan. I really think that can work. And Oliver, I really think yours would work too. I really think if we put these together, then we've got an even better plan. So
I think now would be a good time for Oliver to explain what the Anubis are.
Everyone but
Egyptian god,
Lucius knows.
I'm just thinking about what he has already said in the past. Okay, So maybe you don't know what, did you say Anubis is?
I don't think I've told you what the Anubis is. I've definitely told Chris what the Anubis are, though.
Well, nobody else besides you and Chris knows what that is. But here's
And Philip knows as well.
okay. So
everybody knows except for you.
Yep.
I don't know what Anubis is, except maybe I'm the noob-bis here.
Okay. It's 8:28. We're
Right.
we're gonna give you the entire week to think about what you're going
you've
to
done.
do for the next stage. Yeah. That's true. Think
Not
about
enough
what you've
time.
done.
It's just not enough time.
I need like 4 years for this,
We'll
Simon.
have 12 plans by next week.
Yeah, well, I get teleported. Philip can teleport, so it's so perfect because she can teleport someone to us. That is one of the most powerful things that we can possibly do.
The person
Like-
has
like-
to be willing, though, to be teleported.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Like Chris, you could talk to this guy, and then, we could have Philip on a building someplace far away with me with a helicopter, getting to fly away. The whole point is I'm a good pilot, and
How's
Philip.
we gonna get you a helicopter?
Oh, come on.
That's the
Okay.
easy part.
We'll do
Sure,
that.
someone can steal it.
Steal a helicopter.
Getting a helicopter is like
Parts.
the easiest part of all of this plan.
You know what?
All right.
Fine,
So-
get it to a docks. I can pilot a boat. I am the pilot guy. Like
We get
something that's what I do. Besides everything else, I do that too.
I think that this guy probably can swim on an amazing level, as well
Oh,
as
yeah.
run on an amazing level. But I'm willing to bet he can't fly. So I like the helicopter.
all right. So we get Stefan to convince him to be willing with his magic verses, and then Chris can talk to him, and Philip can
Wait.
teleport him.
Which verses of Stefan's are you referring to?
The one he uses to convince people to stop doing things, like for Crimson to drop the gun, and for the Jackal to, or the original Jackal to lay it out or stop fighting me for a second on the beach.
Okay, so that would be for the target becomes conscious of his current actions and consequences, consumed by doubt and unable to act only react, and it gives a +3 to leadership and persuasion rolls made against him. So that basically stops him from acting, and it makes it easier to convince him. But it doesn't mean that he would automatically drop his weapon or something.
No, but Stefan
Or-
is super
or-
convincing.
Plus,
Yeah.
we have Philip here who can teleport people to him, right? So,
As
and
long as they're within eyesight.
so you could teleport the behemoth to you if, we had some sort of pulley.
They'd have to be willing.
They have to. Well, they have to be willing.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we can trick this guy to be willing then. That can be one of those things. Like you have to come to me, and then we end up doing that, tricking him, dropping him in a very deep pit filled with spikes, filled with whatever. We can make this.
The plan is starting to involve helicopters and very deep pits. So
Oh, you love it.
It's cool. Come on.
no,
this-
I really like elaborate plans. I'm just hoping that you find one that is doable with your
Doable.
character's resources.
If we build a large wooden badger,
we trick him with squishies. All kids love squishies, and he probably has the heart of a kid because he's a big Goliath.
All right, I think now is a good time to stop the recording.
No, are we doing like a 15-hour marathon session?
No, I've got a
Yeah.
game tomorrow.
I think Simon posted he wanted to run till 3 in the morning, didn't he? Is that what he put on Skype?
No, it's not.
Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. All right. So we're gonna stop the recording here.
Yeah. and Besides, it's your game that I've got to prepare for tomorrow's, Jeff.
Hi everyone, and thank you for watching this video. If
if you want to keep up with all of the adventures on this channel, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell button so you can get a notification each time we upload the next episode of this story. And it would be very nice of you to like and share the video to help this channel grow. Have a nice day, everyone.